Why is this? Oh, hey, now it's finally working, maybe. Are you really pig-splaining lighting from the sun? Detractor gardeners again. I've been having issues off. I've been trying to get this fucking working. It. The fuck are you going on about? Why's my camera not on? Fucking Windows updates screw everything up every time. Don't spend time with your family. No, screw your family. Spend time with him and give him money on Thanksgiving.
KingofHate.com. One thing I
there we go
on pre-stream, but I want to let everyone know
hey,
is there are going to be
let's
people
make me
who are
smaller
contributing during this stream, which is great. I will be giving them shout-outs. However, I'm not going to derail the entire stream for a bunch of questions because we already have 4 pages of questions to answer. Okay,
and you'll answer 2 of them.
What I will say up front is this: if you have questions for
God, I can't believe I have this many issues to get this
and you
working.
want to get them answered on the stream, please save them for the end, the final segment of the show. I'm not going to be completely stopping everything I'm doing with these questions in order to answer different
Where
questions.
instead of spending $20 on Patreon, you can spend 50 cents to get your question answered.
Get 100-bit cheers. He says, a king who abandons his people is no king. Fair enough. I would not abandon my people. In fact, I've done many things to go out of my way over the years to make sure that I didn't, despite the fact that there have been many challenges along the way. You know, a lot of people ask me to this day, why do I still upload to YouTube? Despite the fact that I make almost nothing over there.
Because he does make money.
Demonetized. I constantly get content ID claims, and the answer is because I'm not going to abandon those people who made me who I am. You know what I mean? Like those people who made me
and he does
popular
get money.
back in the day, I'm not going to just forget about them.
He's lying about how much he makes on there.
I'm going to stick it out. Okay? All right, guys. So let's go ahead and let's get right to it. Let's get to the questions. All right, we're going to start off with a patron question from Atlas Telemon. He asks the following. By the way, I should bring this up. The reason I'm answering this question is because one of the perks of being my patrons is, or pledging to my Patreon, I should say, is getting your question answered for sure on Ask the King. So if you're interested in having a segment dedicated to you and your question for sure on this show, please head over to patreon.com/darksidephil. Check it out. It's one of the perk categories there. And thank you to Atlas Telemon for being an ongoing patron pledgee. That's why he gets his question answered before everybody else this show. Okay? All right, so his question is...
The hell?
The following. Here we go. Phil, would you ever organize another Super Turbo tournament? Would you ever, have you ever competed in a Super Turbo tournament where you would always have to pick a question mark for random characters, so you can never pick a character, only the random option? I think for Super Turbo, you would kick some serious ass since you seem to play all the Super Turbo characters pretty proficiently. First question.
Wow. Way to stroke the ego.
The various question actually, would I ever run another Street Fighter tournament? In fact, look at the shirt I'm wearing today, incidentally, right? The answer there is probably no. Reason being, I'm not a part of the competitive Street Fighter community. To organize and run a tournament...
Never do that, Kafko. It's a terrible idea.
...task because the community has grown so much in the last decade since the release of Street Fighter 4.
God, I have so many issues trying to get this started.
I'm just running a tournament, post up on shoryuken.com, the information for the tournament, everyone just shows up and plays. Today it would be like, man, I probably got to get approved for certain authorities that it's an official tournament. Got to get the tournament posted up on various social media sites so people know that it's happening and it's existing so people will show up. You probably got to have certain pots set and you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a lot of effing work to even organize any kind of tournament. You have to have, what's the tournament approved standard and all of that and stuff like that. Would your tournament rank in a league or whatever? Who knows, right? And then in addition to all of that, you got to be reputable. Just because Joe Schmo decides to run a tournament doesn't mean that people are going to show up and trust that this guy knows what he's doing and isn't going to rip people off, because every tournament usually has an entry fee of some kind to pay for the venue. For me to just, I'm going to run a Super Turbo tournament today. Who would just show up out of nowhere? You know what I mean? It would have to be something that's allied with other people who are in the pro fighting game community to at least have some reputable nature to it. And I don't even have contact with anyone anymore. I've been out of the community
because you have no friends and no one likes you.
part of my life.
They
I
all
feel
hate
like I
you.
moved on from the competitive part of my life when it comes to
I
Street
almost
Fighter.
forgot this.
Now, have I ever participated in a
Windows
random
Update screwed
character
everything up.
selection Super Turbo tournament? Yes. I remember when I used to go to Midwest Championships in Chicago, Illinois, which were run by Jason Wilson, longtime tournament pro player and organizer, that he used to do kind of like randomized fun tournaments. Sometimes it would be, okay, fighting game tournament, but random character selection every single time. All right, so now in Super Turbo, the factor there is some characters are way better than others at a basic level. So for example, random select, oh, you got Balrog. Oh shit, you just basically got like top 3 pick, and you're really lucky because someone might get a lower tier character that's going to get pretty much bodied by Balrog. So really,
Yeah, that sounds like a
has
bad thing to do.
when it comes to a lot of the top tier characters. It could be pretty tough, especially if you get a character that's like way overpowered compared to another. I got Vega. Oh god, good luck beating Vega, you know, with Zangief. A daunting task to say the least. Now the good thing about Super Turbo is if you're good.
Yeah, I had to go with
character,
Ask the Pig. Couldn't say that word.
I don't think there's any matchups in the game that are 100%
How you guys doing
have no
today?
chance to win, but at the same time, some matchups can be very hard. Like imagine random select Zangief against Blanca. Blanca can beat Zangief with 2 buttons. Like no lie, he's just jumping straight up and pressing roundhouse and then doing backflips with the kick button. Like you could beat a lot of stuff just by doing basic stuff. So it would be pretty tough. But if I remember correctly, I don't remember who won the random games tournament or the random select tournament in Super Turbo. I know it wasn't me. That was years and years. We're talking probably like early to mid 2000s was the last time that happened. Now, also at Midwest Championships, there were random games tournaments where you entered the tournament not even knowing what games you were playing. And there was some really random shit over the years that was selected. There was some mech combat game. There were some of the ticket games and stuff in the game. Like skee ball was one of them. Like there's just completely randomized stuff that was included as part of those events. Yes, guys, there's a truck outside. That's a garbage truck picking up my garbage cans outside right now. Isn't it nice that everything comes by when I start my show? It is what it is.
You should know by now when this happens. You've been doing this for how many years?
Crazy fun. They're always fun to enter those kind of random tournaments because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. You know, it might not be the top player who actually places because what if the
You're
top
not on
player
here anymore, Rob Allen.
They can't use or it's just random games.
Also, Rob, what the heck happened?
It's a pretty
Because you went off on
situation. So, Frosty
the agent too.
Subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Frosty, for the sub.
I've went through this. There's no Rob Allen. There's Rob S for Rob Slevin.
First question is from Derek.
There's no Rob Allen on here, is there?
Here's
Did I
my
miss
question.
it?
Would you ever consider playing Gary's
There's a
mod
Brock
games from
Allen.
the same makers of Left 4 Dead 2 and Half-Life 2, which you did a playthrough last year of in the month of June, and all 3.
Yeah, there's no Rob Allen on this.
Valve Corporation. Well, I did play Half-Life 2 last year. I did not play Left 4 Dead 2 last year, but you're right. They're all made by the same kind of game.
Yeah, I don't see Rob Allen on here.
Now, Gary's mod...
Or are you also Brock Allen? Oh, you'd be Brock Allen? Oh, alright, I can take that off for you. Yeah, but dude, I don't know what the heck happened with you, man. Don't know what I did or what Agent did to piss you off, dude. Sorry about that.
But I think Gary's mod was a fan-made
where was
thing
it?
that
Brock
went, like,
Allen,
viral.
right
It
there.
got like super popular over the internet, and then you had entire communities growing around it. There were convention events around it. You know what I mean? Like I think it got so hyper popular that at one point it was like super crazy fun. Now that was a long time ago. I mean, I remember when I was going to
Nah, that'd be the vet coming for Cat, not the
Magfest
trash
in
man.
2012, okay, and they had a Gary's mod event. That was 7 years ago, and by then Gary's mod was
Not
kinda
too much
old.
yet.
So you're talking something that like is super duper old. I don't know if anyone would be interested in watching me play Gary's mod. If you are, by all means, guys, you know, speak up. Let me know if this is something that you think that I've missed, a gem, a diamond in the rough, a gem over the years that I've completely missed out on doing, and you'd like to see me do something.
Very
like
odd.
That. Great, I'm all ears. I'm always looking for something new to do.
I work 6 to 2. It's like, hey, can you come back tonight 7 to 1?
Okay.
No, 9 to 1. Alright, I can do that.
Okay.
I'm trying to get someone else to cover that
AC
shit, but if they can't, I'll be
months.
working 9 to 1 tonight. Like,
And you said,
no, I don't want to do
Last
that.
of Us 2 won't have multiplayer. What are your thoughts? Very simply put, the multiplayer of Last of Us 2 was interesting, but I don't
Hey,
really
X9.
feel that it was necessary, nor did it add to the overall experience of the game. I think the game itself was so good that it sold itself. No one bought Last of Us 2, or excuse me, Last of Us 1 to play the multiplayer. That was like, wow, you already.
I never
gave me
played
a
the
fudge ripple
multiplayer.
chocolate cake with
Never really
explosive
felt like it was
candies
worth
on
it.
top and amazing fudge bonbons all over. Oh, and then there was delicious strawberry, a layer of strawberry icing on top that was the multiplayer too, but you didn't need the strawberry icing. The cake itself was amazing, right? That's kind of how I felt about it. I liked the multiplayer of Last of Us because I
Killer
felt like
Chronic,
definitely
you can't say
something
stuff's only good with
different
Francis
and
because he has
refreshing from
none.
standard third-person
So never be able to play it.
crafting and the like, resource management and crafting. Am I disappointed to hear that Last of Us 2 doesn't have multiplayer? No. Naughty Dog has already come out and said Last of Us 2
because he wouldn't play multiplayer anyways.
We put more time and effort
He hates
into the development of
multiplayer.
this game than any game we've ever made in history. So if that's the case, and it's at least as good as Last of Us 1, I'm sold and I'm happy. I don't care that I'm not going to waste a few other hours messing with the multiplayer of the game. I don't need it. You know what I mean? I think that it's fine that it doesn't have it. So there's my answer. Okay, moving on. Next question is from Tynel, and he asked the following. Is there an influence to what got you into fighting games competitively in the first place? Was it a friend, a family member, or did you get into it yourself? That's an interesting question. Back in the 1990s, I was a casual fighting game player. I would go to arcades about twice a week, usually Friday, Saturday nights, and I would spend about 3-4 hours a night playing Street Fighter 2 and its various iterations. Of course, there were other fighting games as well, like Mortal Kombat and the like that I played, but really it was Street Fighter that always was my main focus when I went to arcades for that, 8-year span, let's say 1992 to like the year 2000, okay?
Let's see, he's 37
I never
now.
even knew that there was like high-level competitions or anything. My local arcade almost
Yeah,
never
some
had
of
any
most of his
kind of competition.
teenage years.
In general, it was just about people coming and playing, whenever they want, and usually Friday, Saturday nights, kind of weekend nights coming for big competition or whatever. But you knew that there was like a series of tournaments that were held. I knew nothing about that.
I like that his
Even
goatee
back
gets
then,
smaller and
there was
smaller
no
every
publicity
day.
on the internet for that kind of stuff. Like I said, it was grassroots. It was local stuff. You didn't really know about the big level stuff. So I knew nothing about it. And then
Well, he's got 4 pages,
friend,
dude.
T. Carter,
But he's gonna
who
read
was
maybe 1 or
the
2 per
best
page
player
if you're
at my
lucky.
local arcade. I was always number 2. He was always number 1. He always beat my ass in every game, right? He always had this natural, innate ability that whenever he played a new fighting game, he would find the style of the top level character and master it within weeks. And next thing you know, he's whooping everyone's ass. He was really uncannily good like that. He hooked up with a guy named Scott Hovannisian, and Scott was part of the competitive fighting game community. He had traveled to tournaments like Midwest Championships. He was friends with Jason Wilson, who I've already mentioned in this show, and he started seeing T's potential. He was like, damn, this kid's like a wonder kid. This kid's like amazingly good. I got to get this kid into the competitive scene and see what he can do. And incidentally, it was Scott who took T to many tournaments in the Midwest. T went to the very first Street Fighter Alpha 3 tournament when the game was still in testing. It had not been released officially yet. It was in testing. And T won the whole tournament with Vega. Never having played it before, he learned the game on the fly and beat the entire tournament with Vega.
Right, I'm sure that's exactly how it happened.
That's how good this kid was, okay? So T would go to these tournaments, learn these top-level strategies, take them back to our local arcade and show them all to me, and I would be blown away, like, holy shit, how'd he learn this? What's this? And that's kind of how I got the first exposure to, wow, there's something outside of our little local bubble when it comes to top-level play and competition out there. And T himself was the one who kind of got Scott to meet me and introduced me and said, we should all start going to tournaments together. Now, incidentally, for those who don't know the story, T passed away.
And you made a video exploiting his death, like, going, give me money because this guy died.
And,
right.
It was really fucked up. And it messed me up for a long time. And it messed a lot of the people up who used to go to our local arcade or whatever, because he was the top kid. He was the top guy. And when he passed away, a lot of people kind of lost any kind of motivation to try to do anything competitively, because it's like, damn, that was just such a devastating loss. But for me, after I'd say probably about 6 to 8 months of kind of mourning about it, I kind of said, maybe the best thing to do would not be to give up, but instead to flip it on its head and say, I'm going to do stuff to try to honor him. And so I tried to get into competitive Street Fighter by working with Scott.
It's the guy. We're watching his Twitch.
To all these tournaments. And it was at this time that I started traveling to New York City and Chinatown Fair.
There's no history of the pig grudge. It's not revisionist.
East Coast Championships in Dunedin, New Jersey at 8 on the Break Arcade. In fact, my first major tournament ever was in Dunedin, New Jersey. I believe it was ECC that I went to, East Coast Championships. And at that point, I was a noob. I talked massive shit, but I got my ass handed to me.
You still talk massive shit.
That I was like,
so a guy who can't win anything.
It's like a melting pot. You got people from the Northeast United States. They come down from Texas and Florida. They come from the West Coast, and they all come together to showcase their skill levels and play against each other and expose each other to gameplay that you've never seen before. Because, again, back then, there was no internet to share all that shit. There was no video sharing. So it was all just word of mouth or what you saw in person at a tournament. So then I kind of just got the bug. I got the bug that I wanted.
The bug? You mean the gout?
I wanted to learn more. I wanted to be exposed to more. I wanted to travel the country. So I basically worked my butt off at a fast food job to earn money, and I would save that money up, and I would use that money to travel the country. And I went to California, and I went to Texas, and I went to Chicago, and I went to all places all along the East Coast, including Massachusetts, Rhode Island, obviously New York, New Jersey. I went all the way down to, oh my God. Oh, Atlanta, Georgia. I went to many times. Various all places all over the country to play Street Fighter. And I had a lot of exposure to things I'd never seen before, cultures I'd never seen before, people that I never met before. And it was like really awesome time of my life. I won't lie. Like it was really cool and unique to be exposed to that and
to run around and bitch at people.
What else would have been the reason to go to those places for me? You know what I mean? And that was a fun time of my life. Even though, you look back now and you're like, damn, that was like 10 years of my life that I was just dropping thousands of dollars on a regular basis going to tournaments, and really what I have to show for it. Because back then was before...
You have nothing to show for it.
Grew up the fighting game scene, and now the fighting game scene is incredibly viable for tournaments. It's profitable. You can join a gaming team with sponsorships and make tens of thousands of dollars every few months, depending on what you do.
This is WWE. They just wipe out entire wrestlers.
No YouTube, no live stream.
This guy doesn't wipe out stuff. He just completely changes to make himself like the victim.
If you win the tournament, you win like a few $100s.
If you were in WWE, he'd be... Yes, Chris Benoit murdered his wife and kid, but we're the real victims here. We had all this money they were going to make off of him. He had championships we're going to give him, and then he screwed it all up by murdering his wife and child and himself, dude. We're the victims here. Look at how much money we lost because he did this. That'd be him if he were in WWE.
I will miss them forever. All right. Shout out to an anonymous cheerer who did a 100-bit cheer.
His name?
Thank you very much to the anonymous cheerer. Philly Buckeye gifted us up to Moeasy or Mosey.
Because he can't look you in the eye. Liars refuse to look you in the eye. It's impossible to look someone in the eye and say, I am going to lie to you now. Alright, true sociopaths can, but he can't do that, so he's always... And then, that was the worst time of my life. I'm completely broke, guys. Please, you need to help me save my house. That's why he's always looking anywhere but the camera, because he can't look in the eye.
CA asks the following: do you think you'll come around to embracing your faults? I'm not saying this in a bad or
DSP running WWE. Damn it, Hogan! Why did it say what I usually say behind the scenes and on camera and on Twitter? You're not supposed to say that stuff, dude. When you say that stuff, we might get in trouble. We're gonna lose so much money because you said that stuff. Just go away for a year. Go to TNA or something for a year. Come back after that. Then we'll let you back in.
A lot of stuff in the past, said and did ridiculously irresponsible things. I've said this recently on many streams that when I first started on YouTube, I didn't think that it was anything serious. I didn't take it seriously. I never thought that I would ever do it for a living. And I certainly never ever felt that the things that I said or did...
All the BS. How's it going, Mr. Falco?
...affect any kind of a group of people. I thought this was just... I'm an asshole on the internet. I'm just saying and doing whatever. Just having fun playing game. I'll say...
And notice how he's shaking his head always saying this. That is a true sign that he's lying. His body language is not matching his words. I'm having such a good time doing this. Like, then why are you shaking your head no?
What happens? And I did. I made a living doing it, and it was ludicrous.
Why are you shaking your head no when you're saying that? Because you're not having a good time.
So much that I could make a living doing it, and in fact, I was making more money on YouTube doing this silly thing than I ever made having any serious job in my entire life. And I felt like for the first time, maybe my life had some meaning because people were telling me that what I did was entertaining them, was making them feel
I love it. He has no issue staring at chat, but he can't look in the camera.
Public opinion kind of flipped, and people said, "No, Phil, what you were doing back."
And I'm sure he also got either a whiteboard or something off to the other side. He's got chat on one side to look for money, and then on the other side, he's got the whiteboard with the script on there.
Because of your words, and you really should look back and realize that. And I did. Over the years, I've said this many times. Okay?
I've said this many times.
Back then, I said and did stupid things. Some of the stuff I said about Minecraft.
You're still saying do stupid stuff.
Things about Hideo Kojima, was all done for shock value or just based on my ignorance. I didn't know the truth of the fact of any of these things, so I would just say something shocking for the fact that I could, and I didn't take it seriously. I didn't think that anyone would care or anything would matter. And then, a few years later, I'm doing game playthroughs the same way that I had done them the whole time, being ridiculous and over the top, and people now found that that was not proper. How dare Phil say these ridiculous over-the-top things? How dare he be irresponsible? How dare he insult a game developer? How dare he do this and this and this? And the laundry list of gripes became, this is how you don't play. And then that laundry list of gripes became, it's not just about Phil's gameplay anymore. Now let's attack him personally and say that everything he's ever done personally is fucked up. And, it's just become this big rolling wave of toxicity and shit against me.
That's coming from you, dude. That's coming from you.
In reality, I have admitted many, many times publicly that I'm not perfect and I have a lot of flaws. And, it's funny because some people try to say that I have scapegoats and stuff. Listen, do I feel that I'm 100% responsible for all the things that have ever happened to me? No. But do I feel that I'm 100%?
Oh, probably less than 10% of the time.
He never.
You check his eyes, he does not look at the camera.
A lot of dumb, bad decisions.
He's looking anywhere
years.
but the
Things
camera.
I've done that were bad in videos and in streams. Friendships that have been ruined. Financially, my situation is completely screwed over. And these are all have to do with me and things that I've done. Now, we can all say hindsight's 20/20. Sure, today in 2019, I can look back at the last 11 years of my life and say, damn, if I had done this differently and this differently and this differently, my life might be a lot better now. And people probably wouldn't hate me.
And you might actually have friends.
No guidelines for doing stuff on the internet like this. When I started doing content creation,
like screwing over Howard and OJ and Rambo. I don't have the money to pay you guys. By the way, here's my brand new BMW.
There's no...
Dirty bit.
I was kind of like almost the archetype of someone who just did random kind of gameplay videos and seeing what happens to Phil and learn from Phil's experience. And if anything, I can tell you, I hope my 11 years of experience that I have shared with you on a daily basis...
Tell people that, hey, you're a piece of shit.
In your own endeavors in life, whether it was just learning from things that I told you happened to me, being careful about what kind of information you put out on the internet and how people can use it against you, and being careful and responsible for what you put out there and what you say and do on the internet, because it could also come back to bite you, all right? I have wisened up a ton over the last 11 years.
Like no longer doing house tours to show off all the stupid shit you've bought. Because
the
trolls go, oh my god, that costs $500. Shut up! It's old. It doesn't matter that it costs $500. Fuck you.
You'll never see a video go up that, wow, Phil fesses up to the fact that he made, mistakes in the past and wants to change, and he says that he's apologized and he wants to change and everything. You'll never see that. All you'll see is people focusing on the mistakes I've made in the past, because that's toxic culture of the internet. The new
it's toxic culture of the internet, dude.
People have made, and instead of seeing if they've actively improved and changed over the years, why am I saying they happen to act like they happen right now? Like there's some universal faulting, right?
But you're e-begging right now as we speak.
Huh? How many people do you see on social media? Now, 10 years ago, they made a stupid tweet, and it's a comedian or it's a movie maker, and now they're held accountable in the modern day for something they did 10 years ago. Destroy them. Make sure they can't make a movie or they can't be a comedian and can't make a living anymore. Now, by the way, I'll call this out. There are some nasty things that people have said and done over the years as a history. If you look, wow, there's a pattern of stuff that they're doing wrong, and they obviously didn't learn over time. And now that they're finally being called out for it, now all of a sudden they pretend like they want to change. That's different than a few mistakes that were made in the past. And
a few mistakes, like pretending to be a Nazi, exterminating the Jews, saying the N word multiple times, saying F-A-G, that word over multiple times, pro-Jared,
gender insensitive, or sexualized humor that I used to do. I ripped it all out of my content. Instead, I've made my streams.
You can't he can't acknowledge women on his streams anymore.
It's more about relaxing and enjoying my honest reaction to a game and interacting with me and having a fun chill
time. Well, it's probably because he's being canceled right now, because more and more media sites are picking up on the story of him. Being racist is okay because it's attacking everyone of that race. Just don't make fun of me for my gout.
Cut out of my content. You don't see that anymore. You know what I mean? But what's funny about this is that I read this comment from Lucius CA. You realize when you read that, he has no idea that I've ever apologized for anything or that I've even changed. So you see what I mean? When you have this...
But you don't apologize.
Mentality of the internet,
you just try to deflect.
Mentality,
I'm sorry that they took offense to me being a Nazi exterminating the Jews.
All people know...
But he doesn't say that he's sorry for doing that. He says he's sorry for them taking offense to that.
That's messed up. Because then how can I ever grow if people will ignore any positive things that I've done and only focus on the negative? And it's not just me. This is happening all over the internet. How could you ever grow in the public eye if that's how they want to act, right? It's like, I want to believe that this person is bad no matter what, so I feel better about myself because now I feel that I'm better than them. And essentially that's what it is with a lot of cases with me, is people want to believe that even though I still make a living doing live streams every day, that I don't deserve it and it's just luck. And, oh, it's because Twitch protects him from all kinds of things and it's because this and that. It's crazy. Like, yeah, I'll admit that over the years I've been through a lot of shit, but...
Because you did it.
The reason that I'm still here is because in the last few years I have changed.
Yeah, I actually had to look up. I had to Google how to make the infinity symbol on keyboard.
It's not because they protect me when I do violate the rules. I don't violate their rules.
You violate the rules all the time, Mr. Want to bitch slap an 11-year-old. Mr. jerking off on stream. Mr. showing a ton of skin while taking a shower video.
I think it was
twice.
I don't even know now. About the kind of comedy that I think is okay. And I said, if you do a general joke about race.
Oh, hey, there you go.
You want to joke about the Italians or African Americans or Asians or, you know, a racial group.
He's doing it again.
In general fashion that's not meant to demean, diminish, or
He's doing it again. He's doing the. It's okay to be racist.
Okay. If you want to
just don't make fun of someone's individually.
Right ahead. I'm not going to get offended at that. That's my honest opinion. But if you personally attack a person for something that's a shortcoming of them that they can't help, like for example,
like their race,
a medical condition, I'm going to make fun of your medical condition. Ha ha ha. I think that's fucked up. That's my personal opinion. That's my take on it. These idiots go out there and spin it. Phil's a racist because he thinks that racial humor is okay. Huh? When did I say that?
You just said it was okay.
Personal attacks about race or making actual racist, a history of racist comments is okay. I never said that. What I said was I think generalized humor about race is okay, but they won't even report the.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Fuck him. He's basically
as much as I hate BuzzFeed.
That doesn't agree with our ridiculous mentality of everything has to be absolutely
contact.
So let's destroy this person. And that's what's happened to me.
Because you just said it again, that it's okay to be racist.
Some of the things Phil's done that are bad, don't actually even report what he's saying that's true anymore. Just spin it for our own positive or negative or toxic purposes so we get attention on his behalf, you know, at his expense, and don't actually tell the truth about anything. You know what I mean? And that's messed up in my opinion. You know, how would I ever?
I can't believe he just did it again.
As a person or as a content creator, if no one will be truthful about what I do. I can't. Right? That's just, it's impossible to do so. And that's what I'm seeing here. You know, this person, Lucius, actually doesn't understand that in the last 3-4 years, I've changed completely. I don't do that kind of humor anymore. I don't do those kind of jokes. My streams are completely different than that old on-demand content on YouTube. He doesn't even know that. All he knows is from what people tell him about me. And thinks, what, gee, Phil, if you just messed up about all the stuff you were messed up about, things would be better. I did. It's been done. But no one knows. See?
Where's the email address for this, damn it?
If you don't, I guess.
Okay. I'm gonna have to copy that.
Let's continue. Baby Man Gaming 456. So who knows which Baby Man Gaming this is? I have no idea. There's so many of them now. I have no idea who this even is. But he asked the following question. This is not about you since you don't break the rules. He or H3H3. I still don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. But he says, we revealed that Twitch has a secret policy to give partner streamers special treatment. They don't ban partners for breaking the terms of service or getting reported, while they will ban others for banal things. What do you think about this practice? First of all, I don't believe it. I don't believe that. I think that this is some kind of a crazy conspiracy theory. I do. I'll be honest. Because we've seen people in the partner program get in trouble for things that have happened. Just this year, you had Dr. Disrespect filmed in a bathroom, completely illegal, got punished for it, right? We see these things happen. I think what it is people seem to hone in on certain situations where the reactions of Twitch isn't exactly in line with what they would like to see happen, especially if it's like an over-the-top reaction to something. What I would assume, and this is just me assuming, I don't work for Twitch, right? I don't know.
And send it off to BuzzFeed.
They have to follow set criteria.
As much as I hate them and they're trash, but so if BuzzFeed picks it up,
got to go by their rules.
Oh, that'd be great.
A partner streamer or not, they've got to go by the rules and make sure that that person gets punished for breaking the law on stream. You can't have that content on your business, right? I think that's fair.
But you break the rules all the time.
Easy on certain people. The thing is, I don't know. I don't work for Twitch. I don't know the behind-the-scenes happenings.
Mister, you should kill yourself because you're mentally ill over and over and over again.
You think I work for Twitch?
You must be mentally ill, dude.
I don't have a clue what their internal policies are. All I know is that I have made an effort in the last 2.5 years that I've become a full-time streamer to change my content to be in line with what Twitch wants and what Twitch allows. And I'm okay with that. I've told you guys I actually feel that my streams are better now that I'm in line with what Twitch wants as part of their streaming. Okay? Do I think there's some secret conspiracy behind the scenes that certain people are protected and others aren't? How would I know or care about that? I'm a person who cares about me and my content. Me, guys on a daily basis. I'll be very honest about this. I honestly feel that there are people that are so up in other people's business that they lose focus on what's important. For me, here's what's important. Every day, I can get on stream with
and you give me money
multiple times a day, full time, have fun with you playing video games or doing a rare vlogging video like this one, and sharing my honest experiences, answering fun questions, having interaction with you, and just having a good time. And I can make a living doing it. That's amazing to me. I make a living doing what I love.
Make a living begging children and the disabled for their money.
Doing what I love. And to some extent, I used to do that on YouTube until YouTube completely destroyed their business model so badly behind the scenes that it wasn't viable for someone like me to do that anymore. So now that I'm here on Twitch and I can do it, I love what I do. Why do I care what happened on another streamer's stream? That has nothing to do with me. It's none of my business. Why do I care? You know what I mean? I think so many people are up in other people's shit. They always got to be in other people's business for drama purposes. I hate to say it. When you're a drama content creator, right? And all you got to do is...
Well, you create nothing but drama.
Games, you don't have fun interactive
That's all you have.
Drama. You have to talk about drama. Oh my God, this Twitch person got banned. This person didn't. This person was treated differently than another. How is it your business? How do you know what happened behind the scenes with Twitch? How do you know how that person talked with Twitch about the situation? You don't know anything.
How much money you gave them to keep them from banning you?
It could only be half of a situation, and it's none of your effing business to begin with. It's not your business. Twitch, at one point, Twitch can literally just do and say whatever they want with their business and say, I want this kind of person on the site, and I don't want this person. That's their choice. It's their business.
As long as... No, they decide we don't want you on our site anymore. Suddenly, this is bullshit. I'm being censored.
Is baffling to me. Why do you care about a streamer that's not you? Put out your content. Put out entertaining and fun content. Have people watch, enjoy.
But you don't do any of that.
It shouldn't be about, why does this person have it better than me? Why are you always worrying about that? Worry about yourself. Maybe if you focus more on yourself than what everyone else has that you don't have, you'd actually be in a better position because you'd be putting out better content yourself instead of being so jealous and angry that someone else got...
Amaranth isn't banned either.
Or got an unfair...
Straight up showed the vagina for multiple seconds. Okay? Not banned.
Admittedly, I used to be like that. I used to be a person on YouTube who, like, I was so angry
Mr. Oh my God, Kiwi Farms is down, yes! Dude, it's just a server movement. And how did you know, as soon as they were doing a server movement, that they went down? I totally wasn't on Kiwi Farms, guys.
The little that I know about outside of my streams is what you guys tell me. I don't actively seek out any information about other content creators or streamers because I don't give a shit. I just want to do my own stuff.
Didn't you just talk about... wings the other day? And all the different memes?
Car outside just made a loud noise. I'm to the point that I'm just happy to do my own thing every day. And I would be perfectly happy.
No, you're not. You hate everything.
Forever. You know, I know that I'm probably not going to have any giant spurts of growth anytime soon, nor ever. At this point, my spurts of growth ended a long time ago when it came to people watching my content.
That may have been the longest he's actually said into the camera when he said that.
I'm happy to do what I do. I don't see any reason to be addressing insane conspiracy theories against Twitch that have no substantiation, no kind of factual basis whatsoever, and have nothing to do with me.
I'd love to have a counter of that.
Okay,
like counts.
Here's your answer to the question.
Like a stopwatch counts how long he looks to the camera, because he just refused to look into the camera.
Going so far. A little over a half hour. We still got time before we take a break. So, next question here is from Electric.
A break from what?
Dreams. All right.
His shield tweet, dude.
Let's listen to what Electric Sheep Dreams has to say. It's a very long thing. All right. Let's see. Excuse me. Okay. May I ask why someone who has been streaming episodes of Minecraft for as long as they have, 120 hours and counting, would say that the game is boring, while still continuing to stream the game every week without fail? There are countless objectives as yet unreached in the OP Minecraft thread here on the forum. Granted, Mr. Papa...
On lag on the razor, dude. It was terrible.
...with Minecraft streaming every single week and has helped me to do so kinds of stuff. Okay.
No video game today, Amy. He's got to do his Ask the King. He's got to answer like 3 questions and then tell everyone else to fuck off.
The thread to post outside the forum, but that in no way diminishes the original posts, its list of goals, other posts, and alternative threads made about the same game that seem to have been ignored. If we get down to brass tacks in the lengthy amount of time that we have been weekly allocated to streaming Minecraft gameplay, which at this point has been upwards of 120 hours, the streamer has barely... He's the streamer. He can't even name me by name. He's the streamer. Has barely accomplished any number of things even a casual Minecraft streamer would have in the same time, especially given the streamer is playing easy mode console version where crafting is effortless. By the way, I'm not making any of this up. I'm reading this word for word. Inventory-based plug-and-play that removes the need to learn even the smallest aspects of rudimentary crafting mechanics, hence mining diamond with a stone pick 2 streams ago. And that's by Electric Sheep Dreams. Okay? Essentially, let me paraphrase this, because this is not even in English for those who don't play Minecraft. Electric Sheep Dreams is angry at me because I've been playing Minecraft on a weekly basis since December of 2018, and apparently I haven't accomplished this approved set of goals.
Well, he's already said, Polish Debo, that he doesn't wash the hat, ever. He has never washed the hat. So yeah, it's gotta smell like, ugh.
Minecraft gameplay, and apparently I haven't even done the rudimentary requirements for what they would expect from a Minecraft stream, okay?
Well, he's still wearing it when he takes it off, because I'd do it when he's still wearing it.
Gone back
oh man, all the grease in his hair.
Years ago, and read the same question on Ask the King of someone who said the same thing about when I played Dark Souls, or gone back another few years to the same thing about my skill level in Street Fighter or whatever. This is.
But dude, a steam cleaner costs money. He doesn't have money. Send him money.
This is the crazy. I don't want to say expectations, but like they want you to live up to some kind of a standard. That if you're going to be a content creator on the internet, you better best be up to our expectations of what you do. Because if you don't, you're not valid. You're not legit. How dare you make a living? How dare you do anything? Why even stream the game if you're just going to screw around in it, right? If anything, all right, isn't that the complete opposite mentality of what Minecraft's supposed to be? Isn't Minecraft supposed to be the ultimate sandbox where you could do whatever the hell you want in the game at your own pace? Sure, if you want.
Instead, you go there and you will literally fish for hours. Sit there and fish in Minecraft for hours.
Things with the crafting, you can do that. If you want to play at a snail's pace, you can do that. If you never want to build a thing, you could just try to survive play it as a survival game. But if you want to make self-sufficient food and livestock and build giant towers,
he does look worse every day because he doesn't go outside. He doesn't work out.
Items to do it. You could do that.
I'll be surprised if he makes it to 40 at his
right.
At
when
this
I started
rate.
Playing Minecraft back in December, I didn't know what I was gonna do with it. I played it once as part of an Indies marathon, and people said, wow, Phil, with your new streaming style, this is something so different from how when you used to play games. This is fun, and we'd like to do this because we'd like to recommend things you do in the game and stuff and do interactions with us while you play. This could be really cool. Did I ever think
that
I
poor
was gonna have a
goatee.
giant,
That's all. No, it's just white hairs.
cool
Like, no.
Did I think that I would
Let's
have
get an
a
image up there for you.
farm? Did I think that I would have a cool pier where I could fish whenever I want, and I would have a village full of interactive and unique and all independent villagers doing their own crazy things full of animals and stuff? No, I didn't know any of that. I didn't know how the playthrough was going to go, and mostly it's been directed
For him, that is
viewers.
all white hairs, dude. But you can see the white and gray. You can see the gray hairs.
Back in April or May, I think it was April.
Like you see dark, and then all around there's white and gray hairs, and then just dead patch in the middle where there's no hair. But I'm not going bald, dude. It's just white hairs. Take a sip, asshole.
Checked out the new villages. That became a new part of the plan of the things that we could do. That's the appeal of Minecraft, isn't it?
Oh, he definitely... No, according to him... Well, first he said he built a bike. Then he realized, oh shit, that means it's my fault that it fell apart.
The whole point of Minecraft.
So then he said, oh no, I paid the extra $90 for it, put together, dude. Sunspot, how you doing?
Fun stuff. You know, if anything, my Minecraft playthrough...
That's why I don't shave at all. Just let it grow.
Experiences I've had with you guys.
At least up here. Don't worry, ladies. I shave elsewhere.
Conversation, and then you instruct me to help me to do stuff in the game. It ends up being very fun. It ends up being very entertaining. All right. And it ends up being one of the most relaxing streams I do. There have been a few exceptions. You know, once I tried to get a villager from the village to my house, and boy, was that a nightmare, and he ended up dying along the way. It was a big catastrophe, one of the funniest videos in the whole playthrough, in my opinion. There's sometimes things go wrong. I get stuck in the nether, my nether portal gets destroyed, and now I gotta kill myself and try to run back and rebuild the portal. Very hectic and suspenseful stuff can happen. If anything, again, that's
not suspenseful, just you being an idiot.
Things about Minecraft that make it of a game that can be played at any way and have a big variety of content created out of it. All right. This question from Electric Sheep Dreams is so presumptuous. Like, how dare you presume to play the game that I love, and I have an approved list of criteria by which you must check off each checkbox in order in a certain period of time. And if you don't, ooh, you are just a plebeian. You didn't play that game with the Minecraft-approved plan of playing it. How could you?
The fuck was that?
It's so pretentious. It's so insane to me that this is what someone would say. Like, you think that there's actually this crazy way to do it right. And again, when I played games like Metal Gear Solid, when I played games like Dark Souls, it seems like there's, whenever you have a very, very dedicated community, that in their minds, there's a right way and a wrong way to do stuff when it comes to their favorite games. And if you don't, you're in the wrong. And I will actually give you some perspective on this to show that I have grown. I used to be that way with Street Fighter. Back when I was in competitive Street Fighter, all right, I had tunnel vision. I felt that there was a way to play Street Fighter to be experienced, and if you didn't care about that, then to hell with you.
Wada, baby.
One of the things was I never cared about story. I never cared about the arcade mode. I never played it. For me, it was competition. Make that game.
Exactly. Like, why don't you do anything on your own? Why must you have Papa Vera hold your hand for everything? Why don't you create something because you have an imagination?
Play fighting games.
Here's a hint. He has no imagination.
They'll buy Mortal Kombat. They'll buy Tekken. They'll buy Street Fighter 5. They want to just
and
play the story. That's all they care about. They treat it like a
Astral Chain.
Game.
Don't forget he skipped Astral Chain, dude.
I don't understand that at all. In my mind and my mentality back in the day was, if you're playing competitively, great. If not, screw you. We don't cater to you. We don't care about you. Get out of our community because you're just a casual and we don't give a shit about you. So, admittedly,
right, it wasn't because you shit all over him, was it?
When it came to competitive Street Fighter, but then when I stopped doing Pro Street Fighter and
let's see, it's currently 65 degrees in Washington there.
A wide variety of stuff. My eyes were open. And I was like, holy
dude,
shit,
there's online lag
tactics.
But the game lags for everyone.
Competitively, playing through the Mortal Kombat stories is fun as hell. Going online and seeing the lag and getting frustrated versus
and playing footsie.
Cool story
he plays footsie. That's why he can't do well. Because the person goes, "Oh, he's playing footsie. I'm gonna play Blanca." Blanca wrecks footsie players.
The standard Minecraft streamer does this. I'm not a standard Minecraft streamer by any means. Number one, I don't play Minecraft regularly. I play it once a week, if that. All right, I don't have it as a major ongoing session of stuff that I do. I'm never.
Yes, you do.
Or profess myself to be a Minecraft streamer. I'm a variety.
You've been playing it for months on end, and you've gotten nothing done.
It's a good way to break up my content and do something completely different from serious ongoing playthroughs.
The Pig Roach think his brain would probably shut down.
Style of game. I like that about it. And I also like that every week when I play, there's little to no pressure. I don't have to worry about, this week I have to get this far because I have this amount of time to finish the game. There's no finish to the game. I could play endlessly forever if I feel like it, right? I like
But you won't because you suck.
Okay. So, all that being said, okay, I honestly think that this question from Electric Sheep Dreams is insanely presumptuous, insanely biased, and insanely immature. That it's a very closed-minded mindset. That someone has to do things the way that I feel are the right way, because if you don't, shame on you. You ain't get good. Well, I'm not a good Minecraft player.
It's not about getting good. It's about not sucking at life.
I love the experiences we have every week when we play Minecraft. I don't want that to change. I don't want to.
Mr. Chat, entertain me while I play this game.
Yeah,
but that's not how it goes.
I didn't even know, mining diamond with a stone pickaxe or whatever wouldn't even work. You're right. Because I've mined diamond, if you actually look at the entirety, 120 hours, probably 10 minutes out of my entire 120 hours did I ever see or mine diamond. So how would I know that? I don't study Minecraft. I don't watch other people play it.
You don't study the game you've been playing for months. You know nothing about it.
So that's who I've always been, right? It's insane to me that people still have this kind of crazy mindset. All right.
That maybe you should actually research the games you're playing.
DSP tipped $1 and said, did a offline tournament lag?
Ooh, all right, Joshua, man.
Almost never. But there were a few times, I'm not lying, they would have, like, in the early days of consoles, when they were trying to first get, like, the PlayStation 2 to work, they would have people bring in LED monitors, or, excuse me, they were LCD monitors back then. And they lagged. Like, you would try to hook, like, a composite connection to a flat screen, and it would create tons of input lag. So, yeah, there were actually tournaments I played in that had input lag. In general, people figured out back then you needed to use tube TVs, and then when everything went HD and HDMI, everyone's monitors now work without lag. But it was funny. In the early days of offline Street Fighter, there actually was input lag in tournaments. Yes, that answer is yes. It did exist. Okay? All right, so that's $1 there. Let me get that in there.
Thanks for the tip, dude.
A $6 tip from Not SJ Snowflake, who says, I need some...
Oh, he said it's Sekiro. That was just to look up guys to figure out how to cheese the game.
You guys are letting me down. Okay, then.
None of this shit is real. All tournaments use CPS2.
I'm appreciative of every contribution.
Justin Panther, how's it going?
And you are currently the top tipper, again, with that $6 tip, so thank you for that. We're on up to 12. And actually, I got another $1 tip from Black DSP saying, the offline tournament's too laggy. And, it was hilarious because that very complaint happened back in the day at a couple tournaments. Like I said, the burgeoning era of consoles when people were just starting to play console instead of arcade cabinet. That actual thing happened during tournaments until it was finally cleared up of how to hook it up properly. So, okay. Let's continue on, shall we? Okay.
Ooh, PayPal. Yeah, I know.
Next question is from Snakefish.
Just made a purchase.
No, I had it right. Snakefish Gaming. They said, Phil, is there any old playthroughs from your original channel that were recorded via your camcorder that you would want to do a new playthrough of? I remember you saying one time that when
he's done that a few times already.
Totally different experience for you, and I think that there are definitely some classics in the Dark Side Phil channel that could use a remastered, if you will, playthrough. Anyways, I love the streams and keep having fun.
No,
I would say
do not keep having fun. You're trash.
To go back to recently, the first is Final Fantasy VI. The reason being, Final Fantasy VI is my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. And I only played it once ever for YouTube. And
for the tips, like, dude, for the tips.
I want to say 7 years ago. That long ago. That was before I ever did direct capture. I know the playthrough looked like duty. And I didn't do interactive live streams at all back then. It was all offline. So there was no questions or answers. There was no comments from the stream. There was no interactivity during the playthrough at all. And even though I enjoyed doing that playthrough, I feel that if I did it a second time with direct capture, better audio, better interaction from everyone, that it would actually be a better playthrough than the first one. Just being honest.
Just being honest.
I want to go back and do again is Mass Effect 2. 2 reasons.
Honest.
Again, the first playthrough was the old.
God, how he says honest is so fucked up.
Looked like crap, and it's the best Mass Effect of all time, in my opinion. And I've only played it once, so I'd like to play it again. Number 2, there's another way to play it, completely different from the first time that I played it, where I could be a renegade femshep, as they say, the female version of Commander Shepard, and be the angry version where you do the violent actions and the like. I'd like to see how that changes stuff in the game, because I didn't do that the first time around.
I didn't do that,
dude. It was kind of very goody two-shoes in that regard, and I want to see what the opposite flip side would do to the plot and what it would do with certain scenarios and the like. It
doesn't really change much.
I wanted to go back and do this, but for whatever reason, there just doesn't seem to be much interest from my viewing audience to go back and do it. I don't know why. It just never really happened, and there's never really been too much demand for it. Those would be the 2 at the top of my list. Now, there may be many more, but I think this would be a question more catered towards you guys who are
that's trash
out there and who watch the old stuff back on the Dark Side Field channel or watch some of my early stuff on DSP Gaming those first few years before I went to Red Capture. Are there any playthroughs back then that you feel if I redid them in the modern era, they would be better, they would be more fun to see, the better visuals, the better audio, to have interaction with the stream chat? What do you think? I can't really answer this for you, okay? So I'm sure people now will start to give their opinions in the stream chat, and I'd be interested to hear.
And give me more money.
Nino Cooney, Wrath of the White Witch.
I need, of course, more money.
Someone said Catherine, but the thing is about Catherine, that's a game I didn't like. Like, I really did not like the game.
Then it kicked your ass.
I liked the story. I hated it.
Then there's women in it. You can't allow women in a game, dude.
No, I'm not going to do that. I honestly, I really wish that Catherine wasn't a puzzle game. If it were an RPG, I would go replay it. I'm not redoing it as a puzzle game.
But I can't figure out the puzzles, dude. I need you to help me, dude. Save me!
Manuel Alberto's. I never played Lost Odyssey before for the streams. I played it offline before I ever was a content creator. I never did it for YouTube, and I never did it for the stream. So that honestly would not be answering Snakefish Gaming's question. He's asking, what's a playthrough I've done before that I feel would benefit from redoing it now in the modern era? That's one I never did before, but that's one I want to get to as well. Okay, so moving on. It looks like we've got time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions. We'll find out. Atlas Televan asked another question about...
You just started.
He says, why does it seem near impossible to make an arcade-perfect port of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo in the entire period, say between 2010 and 2019? It can't be a lack of technology or knowledge about the code. Tech has gotten better and the original programming is known. If everyone says the arcade version is the gold standard, why does Capcom keep screwing up? Good question for those who care about fighting games. For those who don't, you're not going to get that. But I know the answer, and there's 2 primary reasons why the perfect version of Super Turbo has never been created. The first, I think, quite frankly, is because
I hope Derek shows up.
What do I mean by that? I mean, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo is a game from the 1990s. The hardware it's on, the JAMA board, that plugs into a CPS2.
Racer, what did you do to your hand?
I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the old school hardware that would hook up to an arcade machine in the 1990s to play the game. Essentially, it's an old school cartridge. It's a ginormous cartridge. It's huge, like this big, and it's flat, and the pins are on the bottom, and you plug it into what's called a JAMA board for the CPS2. and it boots up like as if you were taking a SNES cartridge, a Genesis cartridge, and plugging it into your old console. It's the same premise, okay? But that hardware has never been
just hit the microphone.
popular.
Only version of any game he likes is one that he wins.
Emulated or replicated. It's old technology.
It was this big, guys, I swear.
That when people try to emulate, it doesn't work. So, for example, when you try to emulate Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo on a PC or on the console, it runs at the wrong speed. And they've tried to fix this. They've messed with it over the years and weren't able to kind of correct the issue. It seems like no matter what, when you emulate it without the hardware that is needed to run it and maintain it at the right speed, it runs at the wrong speed. People have tried to remake the game from the ground up. Remember Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix? So what they did there is they took the source code of one of the various versions of the games over the years, and they tore the game apart at a level and tried to retool and rebalance, and people hated the changes that they did to the game because the rebalance didn't balance out like the original Super Turbo. So that version was panned. Like, essentially, the hardware for Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo and all games of that era is so old that no one ever found a way to properly recreate it accurately to what the experience was in the arcade.
I.e. him winning.
Now you might say, well, what about other games back then? Well, first of all, Street Fighter 2
World
Warrior...
A guy who doesn't do anything for 37 years?
Hyper Fighting and Super Street Fighter 2 are all in the same boat.
No, he doesn't have slow. You fought a bear? Everybody, send sympathy to Razor Dog. Pray for me. Fought a bear.
So even though those other games,
but he's trying to cover it up. He didn't really fight a bear. He doesn't want Pete to piss off at him. So we'll go with the motorcycle story. Don't worry, Razor Dog. I know the truth. It was a big scary bear.
What about future games? Well, truth of the matter there, those haven't been perfectly accurate either. You know, there were various ports of games like the Versus series, X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom over the years. Each version had a little bit different. There was
guys, my hand is so broken. Please save me. I need the money. Money.
Those competitive communities at some time collectively just sat down and said, we accept this as the new competitive version. All right. So, perfect example here. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. At one point was the biggest game ever for fighting games and had the most entries anywhere you went. The arcade version is different from the Dreamcast version. There are actual probably 3 or 4 key gameplay differences in the Dreamcast version that make it feel a little bit different from the arcade. Speed is actually one of them. But when it became unviable for people to be shipping arcade cabinets around for tournaments and having all these boards transported to have this game run on tournaments, and people said, we have to have a console standard, people accepted the shortcomings and changes of the Dreamcast version and just said, we are making this the tournament standard, period. Everyone accepted this version, learn the changes, that's your standard from now on. And everyone said, okay. You know? Same thing, see, Capcom vs. SNK 2, eventually, the PlayStation 2 version became the tournament definitive standard, and everyone just played that and accepted that as the tournament version. All right? For some reason...
That's amazing how it runs at the wrong speed, dude. How come everyone else doesn't have that complaint? How come everyone else plays it and wins? Dude, I can't adapt. I can't learn new, dude.
And then it was ported with HD Remix to the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3.
You fought a bear and you only sprained your wrist after fighting a bear? Go Razor Dog.
The Switch, and then the recent 30th Anniversary Collection. And no one will say that those are good. Yeah, we refuse to accept that these are the tournament-approved version. Everyone just says it's not the same as the arcade. Maybe it really is. Maybe the core reason here is that Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, by some, is still held as the gold standard of competitive fighting games. They really feel that that's the best it's ever going to get because it was the perfect balance of variety of gameplay.
Football season is the only season we care about.
That are up close and personal,
at least here, anyways.
And some that are hybrids. You got the perfect balance. If you play the game at a high level,
which
you
one?
Can win with anybody. It doesn't even matter if you're playing with a low.
With the way he weighs around and all that, like a Muppet.
A chance to win no matter what.
But he's not a Muppet.
It's really only on paper.
He's totally a Muppet.
Has a disadvantage in that game. Maybe that's what it is. You know, maybe other games accepted there'd be differences in the versions or whatever, and this game we just don't want to accept that because it was the game that started the competitive craze to begin with. Maybe. The other thing is the other flip side of the argument. There never was an approved speed level for Super Turbo. Okay, there were 2 different versions of the game.
Him bitching about the fucking speed is so annoying.
Version, which ran at 1 speed, and then there was The Japanese
Muppet,
version,
Muppet, 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 Muppet.
The Japanese version runs faster. The American and PAL versions run slower. Now, there are speed settings in the game that you can change, but the American standard version, the default, that when you booted the game up, was slower than the default on Japan. You could change them to match, but no one ever agreed on what the actual tournament standard was. So whenever the Japanese came to America to play, they complained the game was too slow. Whenever the Americans went to Japan, they complained the game was too fast. And see what I mean?
Do you have any? Let's Google that real quick. Let's see.
Even back in the day, when they played only on cabinets, we had issues where people disagree. So,
players,
I think
complain game ran too fast.
Will always be destined to be the game that never will have. This is the definitive 100% version forever. You're always going to have these dedicated communities of fringe groups that agree. There's some people that think the version that runs on Fightcade on PC, even though that runs way faster than the arcade version, that's the new standard. Some people will argue the arcade is always the right one. So they're always going to have these disagreements. I don't know if it'll ever be resolved until one day someone releases a version that's so fucking good that we just all collectively accept that's the best.
Yeah, I got some people bitching about it, but it's about Street Fighter 5, not the one that he played.
Okay, I think now it's time for a break. We definitely got enough time for a part 2 with more questions here. So let's take a break. If you're watching here live on stream, I'm going to take roughly about a 10-minute break.
So you report his ass. You report his ass.
And we're going to have a part 2 coming up. 2 quick shout-outs before we end this
part. Because the streamer's not there. You report his ass for the streamer not being there.
Good at Minecraft. Oh, it's not possible to be good at Minecraft. There's no skill. It's just learning the nitty-gritty workings of the game. And Black DSP tipped me another $1. Said the hardware is laggy, dude. I can't block. Okay, then. Thank you for the tip. All right. Let's take a break. When I come back, we shall continue on with Ask the King, episode 78. Thanks so far, everyone. I'll see you in a bit.
Alright, report. Live stream video clip. There's no streamer. Yay, let me report him this time. We're gonna turn that down because that's trash. So yes, guys, if you can, go there and report him. Report for streamer not being there. Goober on the floor. We got Goober on the floor. Don't shoot him in the face because we got Goober on the floor. Trash on the stream. We got trash on the stream. Hey everybody, we got trash on the stream. That was great. Killer, killer. Well, Quincy wouldn't listen to it, dude. He doesn't care, dude. He's just staring at chat going, give me money. Give me money, money, money. Let's see. Let's go with this song. I've played this one before.
The other thing that's very alarming is that I need that money.
We're in the middle of the stream, just it's okay to be racist because you're attacking this entire race, not just one person. Like my gout. Don't attack my gout. Gout.
Most hated man. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, and I have to play games for a living. And I have to play games for a living. They're trying to say I'm a pedophile now. Blame me for fame. Blame me for fame. I'm no longer playing any kind of computer game. I shake the earth when I move. I shake the earth when I move. I don't want to improve. I don't want to improve my stream. I shake the earth when I move. I shake the earth when I move. I don't want to improve. I don't want to improve.
What's the difference between being a comedian and telling a racist joke?
I'm a big dude. I don't know if I'm quite good enough. When you're 450 pounds, you have trouble wiping your
Yeah,
ass,
1.25 speed. Usually I play my music.
500-pound man that has nothing to live for.
Yeah, like when Chris Rock tells a racist joke, it's a joke. When you get someone like DSP who's racist, it's not a joke, it's him being racist.
I shake the earth when I move. I shake the earth when I move. I don't want to improve.
When you get Richard Pryor telling his jokes, like, okay, he's telling a joke. Dave Chappelle tells a joke, guess what? It's a joke. When a KKK member or DSP or someone else who's blatantly racist tells the same joke, it's not a joke anymore. Ooh, color review tech. Put LTG in that match, LTG wins, but... Well, apparently he's doing an interview with him.
Albums that come out just recently, they take lyrics or words that I've said throughout a stream and they edit them together to make a whole complete new sentence. That's how he makes his fucking albums. He steals a beat, puts them together into an ensemble.
He just steals content, makes money off of it.
That's how he makes his fucking albums. Steals a beat, puts them together into an ensemble.
This song is very trashy. It is a lot of trash.
This is the last hoorah. I just wish people would leave me the fuck alone. Big up Liquid Richard.
Self, and my shit stick. Self, and my shit stick. Self, and my shit stick.
Ooh. I think Jeffree Star and James Charles be like, don't touch my face, don't hit my face, no! Throw themselves out of the ring, get disqualified. They get counted out. Make it Nightcore.
I just had to play this game for $1. For $1. For a fucking hour. I just had to play this game for $1. For $1. Okay, thank you for the $50, man. I feel like an asshole. That is so fucking annoying. Shout out Sean Ranklin, Lord of the Wing.
Self, and my shit stick. Self, and my shit stick. Self, and my shit stick. And my shit stick.
You done made it.
You done made it.
You done made it.
You done made it.
Self, and my shit stick. Self, and my shit stick. Self, and my shit stick. And my shit stick.
How's it going, Kazuhira? DSP is currently on a break, so guys, go make sure you go there and you report him for being away from the stream. He's not on stream, guys. Report that ass. What category is he in? He's actually in talk show podcast. Nice.
Like
he's at 456 viewers.
Of like me crying and my chair squeaking. That's not positive. That's not a feel good video at the end of the day. Big up Liquid Richard. Shout out Sean Ray.
Of course it is, Papa. But dude, he's not racist. It's just a joke. It's okay to be racist. Because they're not taking any individual person, dude.
I'm getting the fucking surgery. 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 I'm getting the imagine waking up every day of your life, barely able to walk, and all you do is get picked on. That's my life, nigga. I hate my fucking life. I hate my life. Trolls just drill me all day. Trolls just drill me all day. Trolls just drill me all day. If I talk about anything, everything, there's a video made about it. People laughed about it, making fun about it. I'm scared to fucking death of the surgery. Just get to it.
Him rewriting history, as usual. Crying. Dude, what is it? Street Fighter plays too fast. I can't play Street Fighter competitively anymore because it plays too fast. It's not the right speed. Mind you, everyone else seems to be able to play it. Like, everyone on the planet is able to play this game but you. Because it's the wrong speed. And someone told him that he sucks at Minecraft. Dude, it's this game I can play forever, dude. Shut the fuck up. I'm good at the game. I'm getting the fucking surgery. Whatever. I hope your family dies in an automobile wreck. I'm not tilted, man. Dude, it's easy because I gotta go to you every fucking time. You wanna play a patience game, you can't beat me. I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm never heading towards your red dot. You're gonna beat me on my terms from the rest of this fucking game. Go ahead and ban Nova from the chat, guys. Prove me that you're not using a fucking scuff jump. Because that fucking scuff jump shit is retarded. There's gotta be a way to disable jumping here. He'll have... Well, will he? I want to say all answers point to yes, but... Then again, with the amount of money he makes, over 120 grand a year, every year, on... Well, more than that on average. Some years he's making 300,000. So the money that he makes every year, just... I don't think he'd ever have to give up, though. Oh, when he starts trying to... I got pictures of that. Oh, where are they, though? Because, mind you, I have, like, you know, thousands of fucking pictures. Oh. Here we go. Oh, black person on screen. Chew on your nails. And then here's more. Black person on screen, chew on your nails. And then does it again. Like, it's just a weird tick that he has of black person, shove my fist in my mouth.
Oh, fuck you. Not you, this guy. Not you. This guy over here. This guy. Oh, fuck you. Not you, this guy. Not you. Oh, fuck you. Not you, this guy. Not you. This guy over here. This guy. There we go. Are you not dead yet? Here.
I don't ever plan on doing that, Rob Allen. But the only thing I have planned right now is when I hit 2,000 subs, I'll give away 2 copies of Vegas Pro 14. And then when I hit 3,000, I'll give away 3. When I hit 4,000, I'll give away 4. So I don't know why I had to put anything behind a paywall. I don't need to. I have a job. This is a hobby. Don't get me wrong. More money, the better. House payments, credit cards. Although I always pay those off every month. Because one credit card gives me 2% cash back on all gas. So I use that at all gas stations. The one gives me 1% cash back on everything else. So, might as well get that cash back, dude. Gotta get that cash back. Never want to be the new Phil. Never. Well, who knows? With the way DSP is, he'll probably die on the toilet too.
This is for the Go-Bots, the Rock Lords.
Just gotta get to 2,000 subs. Give away 2 copies of Vegas Pro 14. I don't have to give away 1 million copies of Vegas Pro 14, dude. That'd be insane. I say there's nothing wrong with making money off your hobby. Now you get people that, you know, they work full time and then they do painting on the side because that's what they're passionate about when they sell their paintings. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But the e-begging like DSP does and Jordy Jordan and LTG, that's when it becomes an issue. Don't think there'd be enough power in there to kill him, dude. Probably need like, if you throw a refrigerator in there, that might have enough power to it. $3,000, guys, to take off my glasses for 5 seconds. $5,000 to take them off for 10 seconds. Ooh, Gundams. No. DSP is a fat, ugly pig roach with pale skin. LTG works out, except for leg day. He always skips leg day.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back from a break. If you're watching on stream, hopefully you had a good break. If you're watching on YouTube, this is part 2 of Ask the King episode 78. Welcome back. I hope you will check out.
He doesn't own a gun, dude. He owns axes around the house.
Vlogs or King Hate Vlogging or DSP. I don't even know what the hell my channel is anymore. That's pretty bad.
So how much he cares about his channel.
I don't remember what the hell the name of my channel is anymore on YouTube.
Wow.
All right, so hopefully you checked out part 1. It's time for part 2. Let's jump right back into it. Actually, we actually had a cheer from Philly Buckeye.
Nice.
According to all known laws of aviation, there's no way that a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its little fat body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway, because bees don't care what humans think
Axe
is
the
impossible.
king, dude.
All right, very nice. Exciting. Thank you for the cheer. Let's continue, shall we? Our first question back for break is from CJ Extreme 98. And he asked the following. He said, if you could combine any 2 Street Fighter games to make the perfect one, what would the 2 games be? For example, Street Fighter V's graphics with Super Turbo's gameplay. In this hypothetical scenario, the game wouldn't be choppy. I don't know if essentially I can answer this 100%. What I can tell you is, I actually like Street Fighter 4's graphics better than Street Fighter 5. I think Street Fighter 5 just looks really weird. Like, some characters look realistic and good, and other characters look insanely cartoony and fucking stupid, right? Like, Blanca looks like a joke.
Can you imagine Street Fighter mixed with
whatever the fuck the guy's name is, the insanely huge, monstrous guy that there's no way could possibly exist in real life.
what was it? Until Dawn.
Realistic Ryu. And you're looking
so
at
think
it,
of the super realistic graphics from Until Dawn, but then Street Fighter game.
We're talking, you know, 3D graphics. Street Fighter 4, I think, was much better looking.
He keeps trying to do it, but he realizes, oh, if I do that, people have no reason to give me $20 anymore.
The characters, I think that it would actually be better. Gameplay, of course, I'm going to say Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo because I still feel like that's the best Street Fighter game of all time. But maybe with a new gameplay element, because I think that it is a very basic game, so maybe having like 1 or 2 new gameplay elements in the game could change. Like, for example, Super Turbo only has a super meter, and some characters' supers are great and some are terrible. So instead of that, make it so that there's other uses for the super meter. Maybe Super Turbo with some EX moves, where you could use your super meter in 3 increments to do more powerful moves, or maybe Super Turbo with an alpha counter. So if you're getting completely locked or rushed down by a character, they have a chance to block and reverse out of the corner, so that way characters who typically get
Isn't that what the injustice system has? I think a bit.
Bison in particular in that game.
Oh no, you got the gambling, or you bet the super
so
whatever.
Adding in modern gameplay elements to the game, but still having it play like old school Super Turbo would be pretty cool with Street Fighter 4 graphics. Now, if you really want me to answer the question honestly, I want 2D art again. I want someone to hand draw.
He probably has,
gorgeous artwork,
and said he can, and then said he can again.
Make it like the old school Street Fighter, but like really HD graphics. Like
no, Slevin, we gotta rescue DSP from drowning from all that air. Wait a minute, he's a pig roach, not a dolphin. Only dolphins will drown in air.
So they're just gonna do that. I doubt we're ever gonna see a 2D handheld,
that's messed up.
Drawn fighting game ever again. So, okay. Insomniatic Meat did a 200-bit cheer. That actually makes Insomniatic Meat the top cheerer of the day. Thank you for that, Insomniatic Meat. Let's get you up on the leaderboard.
Dolphin.
Oops. There we go. All right, continuing on here.
This is a favorite way to kill time game views.
Moria asks, will it be possible for you to disclose Jasper's medical record with the procedures he went through while he was with his previous owner? So Jasper is my cat, who
let me guess,
a couple months ago I revealed I have a cat and had a cat for a while. A lot of people were shocked by that.
You married a cat.
And some people have
not
brought
too
his
shocking.
medical history into question because he is front declawed, and of course I told everyone about that right early on. And some people accuse me of doing it, and some people have wanted evidence to make sure that I wasn't the one who declawed him. First of all, I would never declaw a cat.
So then show us the evidence.
You could do to a cat because a cat needs its claws. Number one, for protection, and number two, to feel safe.
So
without
show us
claws,
the
you actually have, like,
evidence.
psychological problems. Okay. One of the reasons that Jasper was at the rescue shelter so long was because he didn't have his front claws. People wanted cats that had intact claws, and a lot of people see things as very inhumane to declaw a cat. I agree. I would never do that. But you know
then
the assholes out there.
Show the proof.
Declaw a cat. It must mean that I really did it because I'm a horrible person, so let's try to do everything we can. And these idiots actually went around looking to try to say that I had stolen Jasper from people in Washington, and let's find information to prove that Phil declawed this cat. Of course, none exists because I didn't. Just insane, crazy shit. Okay? So Moria actually had contacted me and said, Phil, if I ask you this question and I ask the king, what could you provide? All right? I said, you want me to be honest? I'll look it up. So I did. All right? So here's what I've got.
Oh, is he going to show us something?
I just have very basic paperwork stating
so
that
show us, bitch.
Jasper came from a Nebraska rescue shelter.
With his claws that he declawed.
It doesn't state his previous owners. It doesn't state what's been done to him previously.
So it doesn't matter.
Nebraska, and they have a rabies certificate approving that he had his rabies shot. So he was basically made so that he doesn't get rabies. Which you need in order to actually have a cat that you give or let someone adopt or rescue or whatever. You have to have that proper documentation, because if that cat has rabies and you give it to someone and they get bitten, you get big financial liability. Okay. In addition, that paperwork basically said, you know, no visible indication of genitalia. Therefore, we think that he's been neutered.
Well, I was hoping he was going to actually show us proof of something, something he's never done before.
Genitalia or anything like that.
And we were
It
wrong.
looks exactly like he had been neutered. Okay, so that's the thing. But they don't even have records that he was neutered. They don't know where he was neutered or anything. Essentially, I guess this cat. What we're thinking. This is what we're thinking about Jasper. He had an owner. The owner declawed him, and for whatever reason, that still wasn't enough. Still wasn't satisfied with the cat.
Probably because he was chewing cables, like he's chewing your cables.
Picked up on the street and brought to a shelter in Nebraska, where he probably stayed for a while. Why on earth he was transferred from Nebraska to Washington State is anyone's guess. No one even knew at the shelter that we got him from here in Washington State why he had been transferred. Just that he was here, and here's the paperwork we have. You know, they even told us, you know, one of the liabilities of getting a cat like this is to test for cat leukemia, and he might have leukemia, but you know, leukemia is incredibly expensive to test for and then treat. But they saw zero indications that he had it, so just know up front they didn't test for it, but he might have it. You know,
show us.
Test for it.
You has the evidence, don't you?
Like, there's nothing. We have no paperwork stating who previously owned him, where in Nebraska it was, if it was in Nebraska, any other medical procedures that have been done to him. I wish we did, but we have absolutely nothing to really say anything. The new paperwork,
because the proof would prove you wrong,
that we got him from, said, don't worry, we tested him for basic stuff. Seems like he has nothing wrong with him. You know, visibly there was nothing wrong. The only thing was that when he first came into
poor
the shelter,
Jasper,
he sneezed a lot, but then they said it cleared up. So funny thing, when we first took in Jasper, he was sneezing a lot. For about 2 weeks when we first got him, he was walking around the house sneezing constantly, and then all of a
from
sudden,
all the dust,
stopped doing it. And what we think it is that he may have like some nasal allergies, where if he's in a new area, a new kind of dust or new kind of whatever, he sneezes
lots
it,
and lots and lots and lots and lots of dust.
It doesn't bother.
Can't imagine where all that dust comes
and
from,
it's
though.
Actually funny because I had the same situation, but not sneezing, but itching. When we first got Jasper, for 2 weeks, I was itching.
Because you're allergic to
My
cats.
body, I was feeling this like crazy itch, and then it went away. So I think that I might have had like a minor cat allergy, but because he stayed in the house and basically my body built up an immunity to cat dander, and now I don't have that problem.
That's actually something you can do,
like a
but
two-way thing. But the truth of the matter is, no, I have nothing, and this was funny. Phil must have declawed that cat because he's not showing us proof to the contrary. That's not the case, and much like most things that my
but you're not
say about
showing them.
They try to get me into a situation where I couldn't disprove the things that they say, but you're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law in the United States. So all the crazy shit, the speculation and nonsense that they say. Just
yes, and the way you prove that you're innocent is by using evidence.
Contrary,
so show us evidence.
That what they say is true. You know,
oh, but the evidence proves you wrong.
Well, Phil never showed us evidence of the tax. It's like, do you want me to pull up actual paperwork from the tax office?
Yes.
Fucking information and everything on it, and show it to you, and now I'll be in trouble because my public information is out and people can use that to fuck with me.
We already have all your public information.
But now you can say that I made it up because there's no information that proves
Redford
anything.
Lupe, the $3, holla holla for the $3 dollar.
To create a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. So no matter what, it looks like Phil's fishy, and the truth of the matter is, a lot
because it is fishy. Everything about you is fishy.
Wisdom and maturity.
You're a lying sack of shit, and everyone knows it.
Kind of arguments because they know there's no way that the person could logically prove anything. How can
yes,
you prove
show your
that a cat
fucking papers.
that has no medical records coming from the state of Nebraska where he came from that I didn't declaw this cat? I can't. You know, what I can tell you is you'll never find any evidence of any doctor or anyone ever saying that they did it because I didn't do it. I didn't, I never did that, and apparently the evidence doesn't exist. So I love how people will just immediately defaults to me being the villain, right?
I say it's exposure therapy for allergies, where you get exposed to it long enough, it usually goes away. Yeah, well, I thought he was from Arkansas, too.
Someone actually contacted me to be unbanned during the stream, and I completely forgot about it. I'm going to do that right now while it's hot on my mind here. But that's the truth, and I don't know what else
you can't take time out of the stream to unban people, dude. Oh, wait, he did.
There's going to be some people who believe me. There's going to be some people who don't believe me, And the truth of the matter is, if you like me and you like my content, and you like me as a person and a streamer, you'll believe me because I've never shown any evidence of anything of being cruel to animals. I absolutely love animals. My life, that's a lifelong thing for me. I'm a lover of animals. I absolutely love having pets. I love
that. I looked it up. Well, you got the evidence? No.
I love pet stores. I've always been that way. I would never actively do anything to hurt an animal.
Mr. Oh, chewing the wires are sprayed with water while it's chewing on electrical cords.
Here's the other thing, too, is he has his back claws. I have scratches all over my body. I have a scratch right here that's probably going to become a scar because he scratched.
Oh my God, he's going to be scarred for life.
And scratched my leg bad.
Scarred for life.
He scratched me over here. One morning I was asleep. He jumped on my leg and went right into my leg, and I was bleeding badly for about an hour. I had to try. I was like, damn, he got me.
Yeah, he declawed the poor cat.
If that were the case, why wouldn't I back declaw him too? He's scratching the shit out of me, but I'm not going to because I'm not a cruel asshole. I'll live with it. What are you gonna do, right?
He just did that. He just scratched me, left me with a permanent scar.
That's real Mora Moria. I wish that I had better information. I wish that I could prove what I say, but that's the truth of the matter.
Oh yeah, cats definitely did a scratching.
They do it because they usually know that there's no way you could.
I had to tell my lady it was from a raccoon fight she told me not to mess with.
Without taking great personal risk. I can't prove what I say about my taxes because then I take great personal risk that people could get personal information about me and fuck with me, so I'm not going to do that. I can't prove that I didn't declaw Jasper because there's no record of any of his medical shit at all except for when he hit the shelter here in Washington State. But they will then say, well, you see, there you go. No, that's not how life works. In life, the accuser doesn't 100% always get saying, well, if you don't disprove it's true, it's the opposite. If you can't prove, it's fucking false. Or else anyone could say anything about anyone. I could walk up to your house today and say, you stole $1,000 from me. And you could be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I never met you or nothing. Well, unless you have evidence to say that you didn't steal $1,000, that's it. I'm taking you to court, buddy. See what I mean?
And then the burden of proof would be on you to prove that they did it.
Okay.
And I'd be like, I've never met this man before in my life, so...
R.J. Nickens. And says, what are your thoughts on the recent Joker movie controversy in which people are saying the movie is dangerous and could inspire evil or violence, especially in people who have such influence? Maybe give your thoughts on people saying certain games or movies are responsible for acts of violence or terrorism. This is the same argument we've heard over the years.
Heard it with video games,
it's a scapegoat argument.
TV shows, movies, comics, music.
Doing messed up stuff. We have to find the scapegoat. We have to find the scapegoat to pin this on, so that we can have a quick solution or a quick band-aid to fix it, rather than actually getting to the root cause of the problem. All right. Last time I checked,
Throw clear.
Many movies.
Body noise.
Bad things that people don't just start doing. There's been many movies out there about drugs, but not everyone ran out and immediately stuck an IV in their arm and started shooting up. There have been many movies about bank robberies. I'm not aware that everyone just ran out and there was a big stint of bank robberies that people just couldn't control themselves. There's been many movies about brutal killers. When Friday the 13th come out, I'm pretty sure there wasn't thousands of people putting on hockey masks, taking out machetes, and chopping people apart. This didn't happen, okay? Because we can separate the realm of reality from fantasy. We have this morality code of what's right and wrong. We all want to continue to live and realize that if you do insane things, you're probably going to lose your life or end up in jail for the rest of your life. And you want to continue to have a fun, profitable, entertaining, fruitful, positive life, right? Am I right? What's happening in our society is there's people that don't want that. There's people that are so screwed up in the head that to get 5 minutes of fame, I'll just go kill a bunch of people with a gun and kill myself, and that's what I wanted. It's like, that's not logical thinking. That's not a brain that's connected correctly. That's a mentally ill brain that doesn't know what it's doing because it's nuts, okay? What we have is an epidemic of crazy people who are bringing out there and doing crazy things, all right? Now, instead of saying, why are these people becoming crazy? What's going on with society as a whole that we have
they watch you and go, you know what? This world just isn't worth living in anymore.
It's fucked up. What's going on in society that we have these people? Can we case study these people to find out what created that mentality in their head? Is there a breakout of mental illness because culture has changed?
And then we found out that the kid didn't even have cable, so he couldn't even watch the episode that they said he did.
Changes that have happened to the world and the culture. But instead, all right, instead of looking at the root cause of this problem, which is obviously the people are fucked up in the head, let's all look at all
making fun of the mentally ill. Good job.
And everything. We're going to blame the guns. We're going to blame the TV. We're going to blame the video games. We're going to blame the music. We're going to blame that there wasn't enough security at the school. We're going to blame this and that and this and that, you know? And essentially, are there things that we could do to stop this behavior immediately? I mean, there's people who I'm not going to get into the politics of the gun.
Silent Weapon 3 just subscribed. Thank you, Silent Weapon 3.
Something because the people who are able to go crazy and go on these mass killing sprees like a super villain, right, are having access to weapons that they shouldn't have access to, and other people disagree. No, people should have access to those weapons. I'm not here to hash that argument out with all of you. I'm not. But what I'm saying is, there's definitely some things that the American government could do.
Treat guns like cars. You force them to take tests.
They refuse to do it.
After taking classes, both practical and written tests, get rid of all the herpader. I was cleaning my gun and went off 6 times. Like, hey, maybe, just maybe, if you actually force the people to be like, I took a class. I know to check my gun before I start cleaning it. Hey, look at that. There's no more, I was cleaning my gun and herpader, I shot someone.
I think that there's wrong thinking on both sides. There's some people who outright want no guns. There's people who want unlimited guns. There's people who want medium things in the middle. For me,
keep the guns away from idiots. The only interaction with video game guns and rap music videos.
We don't know what it is. Oh well, and acting like there's no problem.
Hey,
the real problem is
you're having children come over to you. A, leave a loaded gun out where they can reach it, or B, put it away. Huh? I'm gonna choose A. Yeah, make it so those people can't get guns.
Why are we even thinking this? Why in 2019 are we afraid that we put out a movie about someone becoming a mentally ill criminal? And now people will immediately emulate that, and there'll be a stint of Joker murders.
Because he'd be too tempted to point it at himself and just pull the trigger.
What's changed in our society?
That's the other thing, right? You have a gun. Dude, how to check is it loaded? Point it at your face and pull the trigger? Or B, cock it.
Right? What is it that's creating this mentality?
See if there's any in the chamber.
There's been a million movies like this before that were never an issue. All of a sudden, now the Joker movie's an issue. Why? It's not the movie that's the problem.
Definitely, literally, game views.
People doing these fucked up things in reality, that's the problem. Because before, everyone could separate fantasy from reality, and now all of a sudden there's these weirdos who are going out there and doing this stuff that can't separate it. Why?
Right.
And that's what really has to happen.
Because no one ever committed any act of violence
right now. Or are we
before movies and video games were created.
And arguing about movies and TV and video games and looking for scapegoats rather than actually going to the root cause and solving the problem of what's causing the people to have these.
I wonder what video game Hitler was playing.
Fucked up, really messed up, disgusting, degenerate.
I wonder what movies Andrew Jackson was
right? I mean,
watching before he committed the Trail of Tears.
To me, that seems like what we should all be doing. But why?
I don't know if you want to punch his face. A, so much grease. B, that nasty ass hair is gonna scratch your fingers, dude.
Commonalities, and this is maybe what we could do to fix things. Instead, all I hear is it's guns, it's not guns, it's movies, it's TV, it's not movies, it's not TV, it's games, it's not games. Okay, enough scapegoats. Normal people don't do that.
No one expects to spend his Inquisition there, Arizona Made Gamer.
Immediately run out there and start slaughtering people. So obviously, there's a difference between me and the person who did it. What's that difference? Figure it out, then we can start to attack the problem. At least that's my opinion. Okay.
Never forget he's married, X9.
Wood did a 300-bit cheers. Are you hyped for Outer Worlds? Yes, I am. Outer Worlds, the next game coming out from Obsidian, the same company that made Fallout New Vegas. Looks like it's going to be.
There you go. Guys got the right idea. Use a punching glove.
It's in a little more than a month. Actually, as of today, it's in exactly 1 month. No, I take that back. It is a little less than a month. It's not 29 days. Ruggies has subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Ruggies, for the sub. I appreciate that.
Probably be able to pick up a gun unless it was like a 38 special or something like that. Any other gun would be too heavy for him to pick up.
Wow, excuse me. Let's continue on here.
An old lady be able to take a punch better, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. I answered the question. I'm starting a new page here.
John Rambo bought him the hat. John Rambo's the only true love he's ever
In
had.
your opinion, are loot boxes
Losing Leanna? Nah. Losing John Rambo? He was heartbroken. And that's not a joke.
EA say they are no different than, say, opening a pack of baseball cards or Kinder Eggs. Others argue that they are actual gambling and come with all the possible addictions and psychological effects. Do you think there's any sort of regulation, like age restrictions, on these in-game mechanics? Or should companies be able to monetize their games any way they want? I'm interested to hear your opinion as a professional gamer on this topic. They are 100% gambling. 100%.
They are gambling.
The difference is, what are you gambling for? And the reason that there's regulation on the gaming industry as a whole when it comes to casinos and online gambling like online poker is because there's transactions of money involved. All right? But for some reason, we seem to have a hard time recognizing gambling when it's gambling for things that aren't monetary, even though it happens all the time. You go back, buy a pack of baseball cards. You have no idea what's going to be in that randomized pack of baseball cards. You are spending money for a chance at something that you might or might not want. It might have intrinsic value to you. It might also have value to a collector as a sale later on. So that's gambling. You go into a mobile game on your phone, and in your mobile game, it says, buy this pack of cards, and you have a chance to get the featured
like
card,
you do, always.
Character in the game that has all these amazing abilities that you need to do a special event that gives big rewards.
Mister, I've blown thousands of dollars on mobile games.
That you would ever get that character, but some people will get lucky and get them. More than likely, you're just going to drop money after money after money and get a bunch of crap you don't need, but that's okay because, you know, it's not money that you get as a reward, so why should this be regulated, right? It's pretty crazy when you think about it. Loot boxes in sports games, you know.
I said it seemed a little weird, Rob Slavin. I've never heard of that before. Unless there's a natural disaster, like when last hurricane hit, a lot of cats got moved out of the area from the shelters.
Get you ahead in the game. If you're going to get that character, you're going to get that player, you're going to get that item that's going to allow you to get better in the game or beat the game more quickly or get ahead in an online community, that's messed up. But what about just physical thing? What if, oh, I did a loot box and now Phil doesn't wear the cowboy hat anymore. Now he wears a dirty slipper on his head, right? Wow, what a great loot box that was. Oops, well, no one wants the fucking dirty slipper. They were all going for the cowboy hat, but you ended up dropping $100 and never got the goddamn cowboy hat, but you got 400 dirty slippers, right? It's gambling.
I can't believe you actually put a slipper on his head. Are you kidding me?
between that and
but he's not a children's
gambling.
entertainer. He's not a clown.
Monetary reward. So for some reason, when it comes to regulating it, for being fair, when it comes to regulating it for outcomes, we don't regulate it the same way that we regulate casinos or other kind of online gambling. All right. So all that, the situation we're coming across now.
I say that slipper's actually probably cleaner than that hat at this
When
point.
you really think about it, as an entertainment form, is in its infancy.
Question was, should loot boxes be considered gambling? And yes, they should. Just like mobile gaming should be considered gambling.
And we'd be a big money-making industry for about 20 years, roughly. I'd say it was around.
And again, DSP would know all about that because he's wasted thousands on mobile games and loot boxes.
Big money. Now gaming is the biggest.
By the way, he's broke. Send him money.
Movies, more than television, more than music. And now all of a sudden people start recognizing.
Never forget, he is broke. Send him money.
Around for a long time,
also, he spent thousands on loot boxes.
How many kids want to play Fortnite and they beg their parents to use their credit cards for another randomized drop of loot so I can maybe get the fucking unicorn outfit.
He doesn't have to admit, we've seen it. That's why he stopped playing mobile games. He actually used to live stream mobile games. And then people figured out how much money he was spending on them, and he got pissed, so he stopped doing it.
Mobile games in particular are the biggest, even though people to this day are saying, "Oh, it's games like Madden and games like that are really
King of Gout already posted it.
Shit, the mobile gaming industry, almost every fucking game on a mobile phone has this model where we will give you the game for free with very limited content.
So did Phil Collins.
If you want to progress at all, you gotta spend, and they hook you. They actually do things to cause addiction. They will sell you a $5 pack of value.
Oh, that is King of Gout, Phil Collins.
Pack that's only available once for $5. If you want that same value, you have to spend $20 again. Oh, by the way, if you keep spending, now you have an increased chance to get the character that you want, or you now get the crafting items you need to craft the special card
right there,
or armor piece or whatever you need to beat the stage so you can progress and keep playing the game, and it becomes this gotta keep spending mentality.
There, I'm not wearing
you into this model
slipper on my head.
Ends. Most mobile games don't even have an ending. There's no, oh, I beat it. It's instead endless events, endless things to do to keep spending. That is the penultimate form of gambling. There's no end game. When you're gambling for monetary value,
exactly, he could spend all the money he wants on mobile games if he didn't constantly cry that he's broke.
Spending forever and never reach the end. You'll never, you know what I mean? It's actually the endless golden goose for these game manufacturers, and somehow this isn't regulated, but the casino is. That's crazy to me. Like, to me, it's 1,000,000% gambling, and it needs to be regulated ASAP.
WWE Supercard and Hearthstone were the big ones that he spent thousands on.
Did I say penultimate? What I meant to say was the ultimate, the final thing, not the next to last thing. I didn't mean to say penultimate. So I'm sorry. Thank you, Chad Warden, for calling me an idiot instead of just being nice about it. You're a real dickhead. Okay.
You're a dickhead.
Anyway,
really, that's the way to treat your fans.
Worse than the gambling. When you go to the casino and you blow all your money, it's visible that you did it, right? Imagine if you're just draining your bank account, you're draining your fucking credit card, you're draining stuff behind the scenes, and no one's the wiser what the hell's going on. This is more fucked up in my opinion. And of course, the microtransactions, the loot boxes in console games is just as bad, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? That's the worst. That's the absolute worst. And it needs to be regulated in my opinion.
They got card readers at casinos now. He actually tweeted that before. They were shocked that they have card readers at casinos now to make it easier for him to gamble. But he's broke, guys.
And fucked up deceptive practices. Every single time that you go to buy a microtransaction in a game, they should have to disclose publicly the chances of you getting anything. They should. They should literally say, well, if you buy this loot pack, you have a 1 in a million chance of getting what you actually want. You have a 1 in 3 chance of getting garbage. So that way people will be like, fuck, I'm not going to spend that. Maybe what would happen is, if people really realized the odds of what they were doing, the chances of them dropping money would be so infinitesimal that then the company would say, okay, we have to up the chances of you getting the good thing, which means people wouldn't repeat spend. You see what I mean? So there you go. That's my opinion. Yes, it needs to be regulated. Yes, it is gambling. And yes, it is a problem. Is it as much of a problem as people are making it out to be with children? That I couldn't answer. I don't know how children are getting such crazy access to payment structures. How are you getting access to your parents' bank account that you can dump $4,000 into Fortnite a month. I don't understand that. Unless the parent is such an absentee parent that they're like, I don't want to deal with this kid. I just give you an unlimited bank.
Like your parents did to you.
Really be bad. I mean, regardless if it was them spending money in Fortnite or buying whatever they wanted online, it's just as bad in my opinion. But I think in general, just humans, forget children, humans shouldn't be subjected to this gambling.
Humans shouldn't be subjected to this gambling, dude.
It could hook you. It could be an illness that you can't stop. If we have compulsive gambling in casinos and cards and stuff, it's the same thing. Of
course he doesn't, Naruto.
Why can't we stop it?
He hates Apex Legends, dude.
Stop, in my opinion.
No one cares about Apex Legends.
What can I say, right?
Then he lost.
Mark
Brian
$6, so I agree with
Brian pissed him off because Brian made fun of the cat thing.
Telling you exactly what you get, but not offering any advantage to those players.
Humans.
There should be proper.
You're gonna say human, you better spell it right.
Right, and here's the thing, Mark. The reason that they hide it behind this randomized loot box system is because that's their defense. They could say, well, this game is not pay to win because it's random. You could spend as much money as you want, and you might not get the item that gets you ahead in the game. It's random who gets it. But it is pay to win because you need to still spend the money to even have the chance to get the item that gets you ahead in the game. So their defense of that is complete horseshit. And all it does is create...
Government's testing human exposure to aliens.
If it costs me a ridiculous amount of money, when in reality, you're right. It should be, okay, that new character in the game costs $300. Holy shit, I'm not dropping $300 to get that new character, so I guess I'll never get them, right? And essentially what would happen is people would stop spending as much as they do, and you would have whales, is what they call them in these games, who do spend that. And when you have an upper class who has everything and everyone else has nothing, the game dies. So essentially what would happen is they would have to change the model to make everything more fair, but then that's not super profitable for them. So the whole gambling industry of gaming would go away, and we'd go back to how it was. You would actually have high-level, AAA design, expensive to make, but actually super-duper quality games like God of War, like Red Dead Redemption 2. You'd get these games on the regular, instead of these game developers slapping together unfinished pieces of donkey-do and then putting microtransactions in to try to support that it's going to make money in the long run. Gaming would actually overnight be improved if we got rid of the loot box model or regulated it so that these game developers had to be honest about it and they wouldn't make money on it anymore. But that's the problem. It's become a burgeoning million, if not billion-dollar industry of this gambling in games. What do you do? Okay, then.
Not the whales drowning, dude. Not the whales. We gotta save the whales, guys. Gotta put them back in the water before they drown from all the air.
There's another side of the argument. They tipped me $1. They said the other side of the argument is that modern AAA game companies need the microtransactions to offset the game development costs because the consumer is always demanding better and bigger games. That's a cop-out. That's a cop-out. Because look at God of War. 0 microtransactions, game of the year. Right? And it sold like hotcakes. It's a complete and utter cop-out. What it is greed. It's
greed.
We don't want
the greed is massively strong.
To make a good game, and then it doesn't sell to the point where we're multi-billionaires. That's all it is. It's greed. It's these companies not realizing that they can't.
It's the greed.
Insane cash
the greed.
Library of good games that built up a reputation. So that
oh my god, this is
their studios
like how is he so oblivious to this?
From Capcom, you knew you were getting a great game no matter what. Now, this is the one that's shitty and has microtransactions in it. This is the one that's a AAA game that has no microtransactions in it.
The greediest pig roach of them all, bitching at someone about greed.
Game publishers and creators, but it's not like that anymore because they all went easy mode.
They need to give me money, dude.
Money train rolling in with the microtransactions, and they took the easy way out instead of actually wanting to put in the time and dedication to make good games. And now, if they get regulated, they're all going to get fucked in the ass for it, and they deserve it for being lazy and greedy. Vincent just cheered. He said, Mario Kart Tours is another gambling nightmare. I have not played it yet. I don't know anything about it. But I would assume there's an insane amount of microtransactions, being that it's a free-to-play game from Nintendo. So, okay. Now we get to Super Flash's questions. He asked 2 questions. My nose is itching. That was not his first question. My nose is just itching out of nowhere. I don't want to sneeze. Okay. His first question is, would you consider making a tips goal for a frog aquarium in 2020? It would be so cool if you did. I'm sure everyone would be mad keen for it. It would be a great way to repay the fans and frogas for all their support. 2 answers to this. Number 1, it would be incredibly irresponsible because I need money to get by and pay my bills. I don't have disposable income to put on something frivolous like that. That's number 1. Number 2, my cat would go crazy chasing frogs in the aquarium and knock it over and try to attack them all day. So the answer is no and no.
You get a big enough...
You, Wings of Redemption, and Rich from Review Tech USA...
You get a big enough aquarium and all that, you put it on the table so it's secure.
But that's your business, enough said.
Hey Earl, how's it going? Well, I can't even read it.
In saying that, though, would you... Okay. There's no... He didn't put any, like, commas or anything in this sentence making it completely unreadable. Now he's saying, in saying that, though, there should be a comma. Would you consider doing a weekly podcast with some of your mods, comma, or even do some more collabs with Brian? That would be so dope, dude. Okay, with no punctuation, that was almost impossible to read, but now I got it.
Really?
First of all, I will say this. I have no problems with anyone until they fuck with me. I don't give a shit about other content creators. I don't. But if you fuck with me, now I'm going to have a problem with you. I didn't know who the hell Toby Turner was until he started advertising for his own YouTube channel on my videos on YouTube. And then I had a problem with the guy. Okay? Wings of Redemption, I never knew who the hell he was. And I guess at some point he had offered me to be on his podcast. I said, okay. I got sick and couldn't be on that podcast.
You said you were going to be sick in a month.
Then reschedule and contact me at a future date about being on it again. He never did, went on his podcast and lied, said he did, and I blew him off and I was lying to him because I was back on my own content streams, and apparently I was just being a dickhead to him and blowing him off, okay?
You were.
Later
you said, I'm going to be sick that month.
He wanted apparently to do a Battlefield co-op with me. I said, okay, contact me at darksidephil@hotmail.com. He never did. Then he told
or he
me
did and went to his spam.
And I had blown him off again.
Because it went to your spam folder. You said, put it into my spam folder. Try again. Well, then check your spam folder.
Twice lied about me in our interactions when there's no real benefit to dealing with a person like that. You know what I mean? Now, Rich from Review Tech USA, talk about, I'm sorry, a bipolar guy. Because sometimes he'll come out of nowhere and he'll make a video about me that seems very nice. You know, 3 years ago, when something very embarrassing happened to me on the internet, this guy actually made a video that was kind of defending me and said something nice things about me. He was like, I think it was an honest mistake. This guy's obviously incredibly embarrassing. It's good that he's coming out publicly and saying that he admitted to it or whatever. He did a good thing, and I think he's going to be fine, right? Great, so this guy has my back. He's a good guy, right? Then he proceeds to make videos out of the blue. Why DSP Gaming is failing miserably and why Phil's business is going to go out of business soon. And it's like, huh? Like, so wait a minute. You just made a video saying I'll be fine, and then 2 months later you say I'm going out of business. First of all, how is it your business? Do you know any of my business? Do you know my financial? You see what I mean?
We know everything about you because you tell us.
He is
over and over and over again.
He creates drama in his videos with pure speculation to get clickbait views. That is who he is. At one point, he wasn't like that. Years and years ago, he used to be reliant on YouTube where he could do game tech reviews, and people came to him for that, and he realized that wasn't lucrative enough probably to pay his bills and make a living.
That's probably why he's shitting on Review Tech right now.
If he needs to make a living, I guess not.
Yeah, I was thinking, I don't watch other people's content, then how do you know what they make about in their videos?
That's a bad thing. And the fact that this guy repeatedly brings my name up in his content all the time, completely speculating, no evidence of anything,
No evidence, dude. There's no evidence. You can't prove anything, dude. Fuck you.
About someone, okay? That's fucked up. And the thing is, when you look at Wings of Redemption, you look at this guy, Rich, I've never done that stuff to them. Never did I.
You just shit on them.
When have I ever made a negative video about Rich or anything? Never. I've never done
anything like that, ever. Shit on them.
11 years on YouTube, I've never done a damn thing like that. They go out of their way to do stuff about me at my expense to get a little boost on there. You know, I'm sure Wings, I talk about Phil, and now I get a little bit of extra attention. I make him look bad. This is a good thing. Rich, I got a big views boost today because I talked about Darkside Phil the lol cow, and it's great that I got another view video because I had no other content to put out today because I'm a drama creator, so I create more drama, and it's good because it lines my pockets with fucking money.
Money, that's all I care about is the money.
You know?
I gotta have the money, dude.
I really don't. The thing that gets me, really, honestly, about Rich, and this is in particular about him, is that he's been the victim of really horrendous trolling. He has a family, you know, I believe he has a wife and kid. He has a family that he needs to defend and needs to protect from trolling, and he's been the victim of really bad trolling over the years, where his personal family and stuff has been attacked, supposedly, which I personally, as you guys know, I think that's really fucked up. I think that's.
I think it's fucked up that when people do stuff to me, that I do to them.
Drama in his own videos that the people in those videos could then be negatively affected by people.
Exactly. He shits on everyone, then they shit on him. That's not fair, guys. That was just my opinion. It was my opinion. They can't attack me for my opinion, dude. They shouldn't be attacking me for my opinion.
Somehow you're morally okay with this. You know what I mean? Like, talk about ultimate hypocrisy. That's the core. That's the definition of hypocrisy. Is I only
your entire existence
controversy on my channel for views and to make money for myself, but then
his entire existence.
Everyone else is negatively affected, but then when I'm negatively affected by trolling, oh my god, it's the worst thing ever. How dare you people leave me alone? You know, that's fucked up in my opinion. But that's just, you know, that's my honest opinions. I would never deal with those two. I would just not at this point. Why on earth would I want to deal with people who have gone out of their way to make me look bad when I've never done a damn negative thing to them? That's like
right.
Imagine you're asking for fucking trouble. All right, if you do that kind of stuff. Okay. Now.
But that's all you do.
Would I do a collab podcast or whatever? Honestly, I don't see a reason to do a podcast. Reason being, I talk to you guys every day.
As he does a podcast.
Everything that I want to talk about on my pre-stream, during my gameplay streams. Why would I want to do a podcast that recovers the same thing I've already talked about, except for the fact that maybe not everyone watches every stream that I do? So what I'm dabbling the idea about is that maybe once a quarter,
you give me money?
In January, I do a video of podcast style where I cover, here's the stuff coming up in the next few months I'm interested in gaming. Here's the stuff going on in my personal life that I'd like to discuss and disclose to all of you guys, and do maybe Q&A. Do this kind of a podcast so once a quarter, people know what's going on with me. They can get caught up. If you haven't seen every stream, maybe this is the video you watch, or the stream you watch. But I wouldn't want to do a regular podcast, because then what is there to talk about on my streams interactively with you guys if I'm doing a podcast as well? It would be like double dipping. You see what I mean? So the answer there is probably no.
Double dipping, Mr. The king of triple dipping.
Came in here. The real Flash did 1,000-bit cheer. He says, "Do I plan on playing it Doom Eternal? Rest in peace and tear, bro." Oh, rip and tear, bro. That's the catchphrase of Doom. Rip and tear. I read it completely wrong. It's not rest in peace.
Wow, you read something wrong.
Absolutely.
So fucking illiterate, I swear.
Is it November? Yes, the end of November. It's probably going to be the last big major release of 2019, quite frankly. And absolutely 100% I'm playing it.
Uh-huh.
Can't wait.
Well, what if you don't have the money for it, dude? What if you don't have the money?
Then I got a insulting $5 tip trying to delve into my personal life. That, again, is all pure speculation. Has no...
He is so much wheelchair symbol.
Ignore it. Ace did a 50-bit cheer and says, "I don't necessarily agree with your point about Review Tech USA being bipolar. He agreed with you in the first example. He disagreed with you in the second. That's not being bipolar. That's simply changing opinions." No, Ace. What I'm saying is,
oh, he's a psychiatrist.
I really think that Phil will make it no matter what, and I support him, and it's messed up that stuff happens to him. Then he's the person who talks the shit that causes negative stuff to happen to me. That's being bipolar.
No, it's not.
The best. 2 months later, here's a drama video that makes Phil look bad.
That is nothing close to being bipolar.
Possibly really negatively hurt him, but I don't give a fuck because I made a
bipolar is you wake up, you're super hyperactive. Yay, let's do this. 20 minutes later, you're depressed, thinking about killing yourself.
Then 2 months later,
then an hour later, you're back to being, yay, let's do this. Let's obtain this grade.
And that's
being bipolar.
It's always about him. It's about him getting ahead, him getting the view, him making the buck, and everyone else getting hurt at his expense.
God, the projection.
All the drama creators on the internet. That's
so much projection.
Make videos at the expense of.
He should get a job at a movie theater so they could save money on the projectors. Just
make a buck. I don't give.
All right, DSP, start projecting.
Every fucking day. That's not what I do.
That's exactly what you do.
Okay, Crimson Yokai resubscribed for 6 months. Thank you, Crimson Yokai. Jeebus, excuse me, tip me $1. Says, "So Toby Turner actually chose to advertise on your channel specifically. How is that even possible? I feel like he didn't have a say in that." No. I didn't say that. I never said Toby Turner said, "Oh, I want to advertise on Dark Size Phil's channel." What Toby Turner did, he participated in an ad campaign for a video game where he knew that that ad campaign would contain a giant plug segment for his own channel in it, and that would go on other gaming YouTubers' videos. He actively chose to participate in an EA advertisement campaign knowing that that would happen because he filmed the fucking segment. I'm just filming a plug segment for my own channel that you're never going to see. No, he knew it was going to go in that ad. He knew those ads were going on gamers' videos. He knew what he was doing. He's not a dummy. He knew he was making a buck on the backs of others.
On the backs of others, on the backs of me.
Me. Why do you think so many people in entertainment are two-faced and backstabbing?
Like you?
I never said anything. I never made that pronunciation.
Yes, you did.
2 people on the stream so far today, and those are the 2 people who I speak against. I'm not going to make a generalization against everyone. I have 2 people who I've addressed, and that's it today.
Uh-huh. We know Hannibal. He will never wash a hat. It's the last thing that Rambo touched that I still own.
Move on to Twitter questions. BlackSpawn89 says, I almost said cheered. BlackSpawn89 says, for a vast majority of games that you play, you seem to celebrate or constantly mention that the game is almost over or that it is another stream or so before the game ends, especially for longer games like Yakuza game or JRPG. You would tweet out how close you are in the finishing the game practically each post-stream tweet. Does being a full-time streamer mean that you enjoy finishing a game and that you look forward to ending the game, especially a playthrough that goes on for weeks, if not months? I find myself in a similar spot and constantly wondering what the game is going to end, when the game is going to end, and rather than pleading with myself that I don't want a said game to end due to the quality and thrill alone. I'm wondering why do
when a game is really good, like Bloodborne, like, oh, it's over, damn it.
To end as soon as possible.
Some of these games I don't want them to end because they're just that good.
I think there's a misconception, all right? When I'm saying, oh, we're in the end game now of Final Fantasy IX, or this is the possible 1 to 2 last final streams that I will ever do, and it's the end of Judgment, right? That's not what I don't mean. Like, I'm celebrating that the game's over and thank God, let's get it over with. I don't play games at length that I don't enjoy. You see what I mean? But for some
you do.
Judgment I played at
you play a lot of games you don't enjoy
until late August, or was it early September? I don't even remember. That's how long I played the game. For some people, for a game to drag on for 2 months is a giant endeavor, especially for someone like me who I used to be known as the
because you played it 2 hours at a time.
Playthroughs that are 40 to 80 hours long that last 2 to 3 months. See what I mean? Definitely changed up the
You played it 2 hours at a time.
So
gee, why did this game take so long? Because you played it for 2 hours at a time. That's why.
Understand that maybe we're gonna have time for something different, especially because there are people who constantly ask, "Well, Phil, when are you gonna do this? When are you gonna do this?" And I'm like, well, you know, I got this game I've been playing for 2 months and it's still going, so we gotta kind of wait. I don't want to start too many new projects when I got so many ongoing projects. You see what I mean? And essentially that's what it is. It's not that I'm in a rush to finish, but I don't want to start too much. And
yeah, you can always replay them again, but
with so many playthroughs and projects that I never finished.
Like Witcher 3,
see what I mean?
I still want to get back and play it again, but it's like, man, after all this time, don't remember the controls, and I'm not starting over. That game is too long to be starting over again.
I'm playing too many. So that's the situation I want to avoid. Now, some people like to savor a game. Man, I want to play it as long as possible because I really love the game. And other people are just in a big rush to finish. Old school Phil used to be in a rush to finish games because the more quickly I finished one, I could get on to the next. And that meant more day one views, more new playthrough views, more excitement, more hype around my channel because Phil's the new game guy. And he plays the new games constantly, right? I'm not like that anymore. I've changed. I've evolved. I'm not.
I wonder if DSP has scurvy.
And I mean that, like,
because you got to figure the only fruit he gets is from Kickstarters.
Only playing a game because I'm trying to make a buck on it. I want to play a guy. Be the guy because
that'd be hilarious if he actually got scurvy.
Some kind of value. So even if I don't particularly like the game, maybe that's an interactive stream where, for example,
let's see, signs of
even though
scurvy.
The last couple months there, didn't really enjoy the game that much, we still had a lot of fun with the interactions we had during that session, right?
Let's see, swollen, spongy, purplish gums that are prone to bleeding.
I gave it the
loose teeth, bulging eyes, bleeding into the skin, scaly, dry, and brownish skin,
when I tweet out,
very dry hair that curls and breaks off close to the skin.
It looks like this is the end.
Maybe he doesn't have it.
People who maybe were wondering when the game's going to end.
Because obviously his hair is greasy, not dry. His skin is pale, not brownish. He does get the bulging eyes.
The fact that I'm dying to finish the game and get on to the next one, okay? All right, Philly Buckeye Cheers. I only said that because I see it a lot on the radio, too. I guess he was talking about entertainment people being two-faced. I wouldn't know about that either, but thank you. Real Flash did a 300-bit cheers. I love you, dude. Can't wait till you rip and tear.
He does not wear it out of that room. That hat is specifically for that room. It's the last thing that John Rambo touched that he still owns.
Real Flash. Appreciate that. All right. Before we get to Twitter questions, what I'd like to do is give a shout-out to my patrons, to those who still head over to Patreon.
I thought you had 4 pages of questions. You've been doing this for like 2 hours. There's no way you answered 4 pages. Unless each page is just one question.
So please give it a look if you're interested. So shout out to the following ongoing patrons of
Get a
mine.
game views.
We got X86, Villix, Fallen 1570, Big Tone 995, Infinite 55, Casey Wood, Planet Jeff, Thomas McDonald, Sean Given,
Planet
Last
Jeff,
Rambo 341, Uncommon Sense, QPZ MWN, David Denmark, Stormforce Gamer, Richie 7, Show Kreos, Steven Slater 007, and Michael Denault. Thank you very much for that. So what I think I'll do now that I'm actually looking that we're almost 50 minutes in part 2, let's take our final break of the stream. I'll come back.
Wow, another break, guys.
That'll be Twitter questions, and then we'll take questions from the stream chat to end the show. Sounds good? All right, guys, let's take our final break. If you're watching on stream, about a 10-minute break. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's just going to be another part. Okay, thank you, guys. I'll be back shortly with more. And the big conclusion.
And report his ass. Fuck it. Report. There's no streamer. Do not block. Bring back up. Theater mode and pause. There we go. God damn. Something for the whatever ad that is. We're not gonna watch that or listen to that anyways. Let's see. Rain is very heavy. Heavy is the rain. This is a Liquid Richard production.
Welcome to Band World. I make shitty content. Help your boy out. Subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.
Who can fuck the ugliest bitch? I got you. Give me the fat bitch over there. I got you. That's what I want.
That's who I am.
That's what I want.
450-pound man.
West Coast, nigga. It's a way of life. You think
Big ups, Liquid Richard.
All it's gonna do is make me hungry. Nobody wants to help me. We could be at the fucking club, right? You don't like the slack pussy? Go for the prime cut. The pussy's not gonna slay itself.
Slay itself.
All day slay.
All day slay.
Nigga. Go bother somebody like fucking Syndicate, who steals money from children and drives Lamborghinis his entire life.
Stealing money from children. DSP.
Who can fuck the ugliest bitch? I got you. Give me the fat bitch over there. I got you. That's what I want.
That's who I am.
That's what I want.
450-pound man.
Who can fuck the ugliest bitch? I got you. Give me the fat bitch over there. I got you. That's what I want.
That's who I am.
That's what I want.
All day slay.
Shout out Sean Rankin. Lord of the Wing. Shut the fuck up, Lean. It's ridiculous. Lean. I hope your family dies in an automobile wreck. You're a fucking idiot. Real talk.
God, that's a lot of
Seriously,
ads.
I don't give a shit. Big up Liquid Richard.
Probably trying to force people into subbing so they don't have to watch all the ads anymore. But it doesn't work.
There's no ups and downs in my content. Like somebody made an entire album of like me crying and my chair squeaking. That's not positive. That's not a feel good video at the end of the day. Big up Liquid Richard. Shout out Sean Rankin. My nigga. Lord of the Wing. And it just seems like everybody wants to fuck with me all day. All day. I'm getting the fucking surgery. 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 I'm getting the Imagine waking up every day of your life, barely able to walk, and all you do is get picked on.
Liquid Richard, big ups.
I hate our fucking life. I hate our life. I hate our life. Trolls just drill me all day. Trolls just drill me all day.
Guys, music's so trash.
Drill me all day.
Ooh, I got a message.
All day. I talk about anything, everything. There's a video made about it. People laughed about it, making fun about it. I'm scared to fucking death of the surgery. Fucking death of the surgery. I just can't do it. Can't do it. Take this shit up, man. I don't want any of this anymore. I don't want YouTube. I don't want
Says better hairline than
I
DSP.
don't want any of this. I don't want YouTube. I don't want fame. I don't want any of it. Trolls just drill me all day, all day. Trolls just drill me all day.
Not true, Carmichael. You do get the dangling bits.
All day.
You're not supposed to, but you do. And then the ladies get right back on there 3 days later.
I'm getting the fucking surgery. I'm getting the fucking surgery.
Liquid Richard 3 Kings.
I'm getting the fucking surgery. I'm getting the fucking surgery.
I'm not.
I'm getting the fucking surgery.
I don't see 3 Kings. Let's try to search it.
I'm getting the fucking surgery. I'm getting
3
the fucking
Kings.
surgery. I'm getting the fucking surgery.
There it is.
I'm getting the Hello everybody, it's your boy Jordy. Fat motherfucker himself.
Dark Side Phil here. I'm back.
This is God.
I can't even fucking do anything! What is this idea? Speak again!
No, motherfuckers. Everything was right. Everything
Share this to Twitter.
Everything was right. Everything was great. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. My nigga, I never failed for this shit.
Oh, dang, I shouldn't have played this until you gave me $1,000, dude. I demand $1,000 right now since I played this song for you.
Punch the page. Nigga. Punch the page. Punch the page. Nigga. Punch the page. 10 years of my hard work trying to raise funds in the next several months to pay my taxes. These fucking trolls financially fuck me over every single fucking year.
It's not my fault.
Welcome to my very first playthrough of a game that is a racing game. That's right.
Racing style game, dude. It's a racing style game. Got everything correct.
Run that shit back. Pull out your fucking car. You know, fucking black. Run that shit back. Grab your balls. Swivel them around. Grab your cock. Swivel them around. You're just walking around with 2 nuts swinging in a cock. And you don't even realize what you got. Go be a sheriff with a cock. You serve no purpose, nigga.
You're wasting time.
Black spook in an area.
You feel me?
Obsessing over another man you never met. Black crisp sweat. Beating in a safe.
Soon as I hop on way. Niggas using this medication, okay. Okay. It's not my fault. I'm here for my niggas.
Run that shit back.
This dude's so strange.
I think he said this is his final break. Racing style game, dude. It's the first time ever. And he hates those games because he can't stare at chat and play the game at the same time. It gives everyone a good laugh. Watch him play racing games. What, I crashed? Dude, that's bullshit. There's no way I would have crashed. What, I crashed again? Like, dude, stare at the screen. Play the game. Stop staring at chat. It would be so much better if I had someone else better singing it. God, I really don't have to go back to work. 9 to 1's like, why do the closer have to be arrested? They stole thousands of dollars from the site. Thousands from the site. It's like, hey, so buddy, do you want to come in tonight and close? No, but overtime. I've been banned. Banned forever. You're currently banned from this channel. Because he's a bitch. Goober 316! And that's the bottom line, because Goober said so. If you don't agree with him, he's got 2 words for you. Guinea pigs! You don't get OT? What are you, salary? Ah. See, that's the downside of salary. You get paid more up front, but you work 40 hours? That's what you get paid. You work 70 hours, you get paid for 40 hours. I know I've always been a fan of Kane, Big Show, The Undertaker. I've always been a fan of those guys. Don't know why. Yeah, I still love one of the best storylines WWE ever did was Kane was the Intercontinental Champion. Or no, Triple H was the Intercontinental Champion. Kane had a match. If he wins, he becomes the champion. If he loses the mask. Before he did the match, he breaks a mirror. For 7 years, his career was pretty much shit. Then on the day after that 7 years was over, he not only defeats the Undertaker for one of the first times ever in a pay-per-view, but he beats him for the championship. Then he beats him again in another pay-per-view. Loses the Undertaker every single pay-per-view until 7 years are up after breaking the mirror. Beats him not once, but twice in pay-per-views to become the champion. It was his longest WWE championship reign ever. Yeah, go salaried then. But that sounds highly illegal, Carmichael. Highly illegal. But we're gonna get a lawyer to sue him, right? Because they got way more lawyers than you do. Isaac Yankum. Or, what was it? The skit where Triple H pretended to be Kane going to a funeral and fucking the dead girl. I thought they already did that, and the first showing was trash. No, that was NXT that fucked up their first showing. Hi, we're gonna have NXT on TV, and holy crap, we screwed everything up. I still want to see the last ride stable of Undertaker, Kane, Big Show, Mark Henry, and they just dominate, kick everyone's ass in that Survivor Series. Them versus 6 young guys. Who's the 2 members of the last ride gonna be? Oh my god, it's Chris's music, or Edge's music, or Shawn Michaels' music. So just bring it to. Can you imagine the glass shatters and all of a sudden Stone Cold comes out for one last match Survivor Series with the last ride? And either A, have the last ride win, and hold up the hands of the guys that they beat, alright, we're passing on the torch, or B, again, have them lose, and then still do the hand raising. That'd be awesome. Oh, that sucks. So there you go. Can you imagine you have Big Show, Kane, Undertaker, Mark Henry in the ring, face off against 6 young guys, then all of a sudden the glass shatters, the crowd would go nuts. People would go insane. Then, alright, since it's a 6-way tag match, we can have Edge out there, but instead of Edge having to compete too much, just have him go out there, do a couple moves, and get taken out or something, so he doesn't injure himself. No, you think you know me. People would go nuts too. Oh, sounds like he's back. From his masturbation session.
Mail, motherfucker!
Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to the third and final segment of Ask the King, episode 78 for September 26, 2019. If you're watching on stream, welcome back from the break. If you're watching
And to
on
think,
YouTube,
everyone just sat here and watched him take breaks because
because
it's just too much work. He literally cannot sit there and answer questions for a couple hours.
Questions to answer, and then we're going to move.
You gotta
on
sit there
to
for a
the
couple
chat
hours and answer
questions,
questions. It's
okay?
just too much work.
Where I'm going to go ahead and be answering things that people just randomly want to ask in chat to end out this final segment of the show. Fair enough. Reminder, I mentioned this at the beginning of the show. I'll mention it again.
If you spend 20
Already
bucks
post up your questions
or you
for the
spend 50
next
cents,
answer
you
of
get the
Ask
exact
King.
same
That's
question
gonna be,
answered.
the next episode of Ask the King, that's going to be on Thanksgiving Day in the United States, which is November 28th, 2019. There's already a thread open on my forums on the kinghate.com website for you to post up those questions. Fair enough? Joe just did 105-bit cheer. He says your gaming
On
schedule
thanks
Twitch
fucking
comes
giving.
out tomorrow. Will you update
Again,
it?
do not spend
Here's
time with
the
your
thing.
family.
Gaming schedule that
Do
you are
not
addressing is
enjoy your
showing
time with your
publicly
friends and
how it will
family and
come
loved
out in
ones.
September.
No, sit there and watch
I
him.
will actively update that soon. Hopefully today we'll
Could
see.
be because he
Games that
knows
I've been
that,
playing in October,
guess what?
FYI, those games are
Me,
Ghostbusters
LSB,
reboot,
Tevin,
possibly the new
maybe
Plants vs.
Darkstream
Zombies
Mirrors
game,
or Dark Dave Mirror because that
2020,
just does it
Outer
automatically.
Worlds, Call
He
of
might be the
Duty
only
Modern
one
Warfare, the Medieval
to restream it because
Remastered,
everyone else is going to be with
Super
friends and
Mario Bros.
family.
Blitz Remaster and Luigi's Mansion 3, along with the Halloween Horror Marathon, and there may be a few odds and ends in there. Like I think there was.
Do not go to the doxing
releases
forum. Do not go to the doxing
We'll see.
forum.
Okay.
It's the cowboy. I'm watching his
On to
Twitch.
Twitter, shall we? All right.
Shall we snort?
First question from Vincent. He says, do you think that the new Call of Duty will be any good? I watched you play the multiplayer, and it feels to me that they're still doing the same old, same old. From what I've noticed, I made some big observations in the multiplayer. The first is that they really were trying to make this look more realistic. You can now reload while looking down the sight. When you turn to aim, you actually lean a little bit, which is kind of realistic. I like that. The graphics themselves look a lot more detailed and realistic, in my opinion. And the sound effects seem to be very different from previous Call of Duty. I don't know if people think they're better or worse. For me, they seem like they had a lot more bass to them. So it seemed to me like maybe
It's all about the bass,
about the
bass, no treble. It's all about the bass, no treble.
Zany maps with crazy shit. You know, it's more like more baseline, realistic maps to more realistic areas, which is good, in my opinion. And the gameplay that was primarily changed, that it seems like, unlike the last game where it was all about run into someone, immediately aim, fire, done, now it seems like people have the ability to find areas to hide and camp, try to get kill streaks, be more strategic with their gameplay rather than just be run, gun, reaction over and over and over, okay?
You mean camp. You want to camp.
However, then
You're going to sit there and camp.
Ground War, that just seems to be like that, where it's just so zany with the spawning being so bad or whatever, it's just kill. So it seems to be a little bit of a dichotomy. When I was playing the standard multiplayer, it was more than apparent they have not gotten the connections good enough in this to be competitive. I'm sorry, but when I'm running into a room, I see someone, I draw my gun, I fire 4 times, and the hit indicator says hit, 4 hits. Excuse me, 4 hits. Then I die instantly. You go back and watch their kill cam on their screen. They drew first and fired and hit you 4 times first. Something's wrong. All right, I need to have
your internet sucks.
Close to what's really fucking going on in the game, displayed on my fucking TV, so I know what's happening in the game. And this happens all the time in the freaking game, and it's always been like that. For
That's
the past
old.
5,
I
6,
remember
7
when
years.
Big Show was
Call of
on
Duty servers are not
WCW,
great. They
dude.
keep having these issues on console, and I'm just like, all right, here you go. Here's
Snort.
your chance, right? To redeem yourself from the past 5 years when it was all about gimmicks and stupid shit. Take all that out, but now
It's because your internet
I
sucks.
don't care. You know what I mean? Like everything you've changed to go back to more.
I got business
hardcore
class
gameplay
internet.
gets thrown
Business
into
class
the
internet is
trash,
for 1,000
and the
people
game
to use
still
the
doesn't have a
internet
solid
at 1
connection.
megabyte a
And
second.
it's so weird to me that they don't get
Not
it.
one person to use it.
Admittedly, this was the
You want higher speed.
Maybe in 1 month when this game releases, it'll be better. I don't know, but that's not a lot of time to essentially revamp their system and make the connections better. I'm not seeing it, man. I'm seriously not seeing it.
Get
I'm
better
seeing,
internet.
that the game's going to be released exactly the same.
I get you wanted the
And then they're
business
slowly
class
making
internet because
improvements over
A,
months
it's
and months and months
fancier,
to
and
get
B,
better in time.
24/7
But
call,
you'll get
but
this
still.
kinda finicky game at launch that's going to be quite frustrating.
Back was on WCW and he was teamed up with
I
someone.
guess we'll find out. That's my major criticism.
It's always weird how
of the game,
certain,
what I
like
saw.
with
I
tag
think
teams,
Ground
like
War's just insane.
one guy takes off like
This
Shawn
one
Michaels and Stone Cold, the other one,
Battlefield, and it's not
who?
very good. The standard multiplayer was alright until I had all these fucking issues. Oh, by the way, shotguns. People were killing me from mid-range to even sometimes long range with shotguns, which was insane. Then I pulled out a shotgun and I was doing the same thing. I'm like, eh? Why the hell is this thing so fucking powerful? Like, out of control.
Because that's what shotguns do.
But at the very least, they changed something. Because if they were still going down the same path that they have been going down for the past 5 years, I think it would be dying within another 2 years. So, I guess we'll see what happens. Okay.
What? Gunshots can hurt you? Even if you're not right next to them? How do gunshots work?
Making arcade machines of retro games for affordable prices, would you consider getting one? Well, the only machines that I've seen Arcade Mode Up make are the ones that are sold in retail stores. And it's hilarious because people think they're getting an arcade machine experience with these things. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, a real arcade machine, alright, stands about, I'd say, roughly anywhere between 6 to 8 feet tall. Usually the cabinet is wider than the human body. The controls are very heavy.
Damn, that is old school,
like
Earl.
Old wooden cabinet, fiberboard cabinet, very strong, very sturdy. Usually has certain things on it so the edges aren't sharp. Has a light up marquee at the top of it to advertise the game. You can see it throughout the arcade.
I'm so tired.
A typical screen would be anywhere from, I think the smallest one in an arcade was 24 inches, but they could go all the way up to like 48 inches. And sometimes, if you had a widescreen screen for like fighting games, it could be even ginormous compared to that. All right. And essentially, that's the arcade experience for me.
He's never left the country. I don't think he's even been to Canada.
Arcade cabinet.
Lives 10 minutes away from Canada. Never been to Canada.
Not very sturdy, and it's like half your, like, it's not even as tall as like my chest. But this is supposed to be an arcade cabinet. I'm like, dude, no, arcade cabinets are up here, okay? At least American-style arcade cabinets. If you're talking Japanese, you're a completely different situation. Those are like sit-down cabinets, very differently designed than American ones. But American arcade cabinets are like up here. They're sturdy. You know, you buy an arcade cabinet for your house. That thing's like a sturdy-ass thing. That's a part of your house. It's not this little thing you push into the corner when you're not playing it. I'm not saying that these arcade cabinets they're selling today are bad. I'm just saying that's not reminiscent of the actual experience you had back in the day when you went to a video arcade to play games.
Dude, this computer isn't the size of a room. It's not a real computer. It's not like they used to be. The computer fits in my living room. Tiny little corner right here. It's not taking up the entire room. This is not a real computer.
So that being said, I don't really,
his tits, you mean?
Am I against or for them? I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. I wouldn't buy one because I have no desire. First of all, I have no room for one. I have no desire to have an arcade cabinet in my house.
Yeah, you have no room.
Video games all day on stream.
And one of the many spare bedrooms, or downstairs, or in the garage.
I'm really interested in. But if you have
what do you have in the garage besides a car? Means you have no room for it.
$300. Pretty inexpensive to put a thing in your house like that. So I guess it's up to you, right? I got raided. Well, I completely missed it, and I apologize. I was busy answering questions. Not too surprised that I missed out on it, considering that it's the Q&A show, and I'm not actively in the chat constantly until the very end.
God, I got something in my eyes. Bothering the shit out of me.
Call of Duty's been in a bad state for a while, but the game's fan base isn't very vocal about problems. Right, and I'm not going to go into massive
so then you can't discuss X9. Can't talk about those. I'm married.
The fan base now has created this very, how do I say it? One hand... Your back scratches my back, and then I'll scratch your back.
Because it's not the same way, dude. It's not exactly the same thing that he grew up with in the 80s.
Talk shit about Call of Duty, because then you can't make videos of it for the
Nah, it's not burning. It's just
make you a living.
I think I got an eyelash in it. It's annoying the shit out of me.
Duty because then no one plays your game that you're so hardcore into. You see what I mean? Like that community is kind of on the fence of.
That's really starting to annoy the shit out of me.
It needs to be viable. So if you downplay a game or you shit talk a game, what's going to happen, right? And look what happened with the beta. So all the players who are content creators collectively complain that they can't do their old school run and gunning gameplay because there's no map on the screen constantly. So within 1 week, they added it to the beta permanently. Now it's on the screen constantly. Even though the whole game was designed around not having the map there constantly, they kowtowed to these people who are content creators who they know give them free advertising
what?
To promote their game for free.
Kowtowed, you mean?
Because those people complained that they can't now.
That's how I always heard it pronounced.
Because that's essentially what was happening.
I think I got it, bitches.
Beta, none of the people who were good at the game were doing very well. They were flubbing. They couldn't. Oh my God, someone camped and killed me 1,000,000 times. Yeah, because that's how the old games used to be. It's not the run and gun garbage that you created it to be with all the modernized garbage you put into Call of Duty. So for me.
Ooh, it's a Gundam.
Why the fan base isn't vocal about problems? They're totally afraid that if this game isn't successful with the way that it's changing everything,
$500 coffee machine, dude.
Call of Duty, and then where's their community? There's none left, right? So makes sense. Okay.
It's a
Mark
Gundam.
Johnson asks if they approached you, would you have Rambo or Howard on a stream?
No.
Yes, if Rambo or Howard contacted me and said, Phil, let's let bygones be bygones. Let's just have a conversation on stream about the good old days, or let's get caught up on stream and have a stream where we talk about everything that's going on in our lives now and just kind of shoot the shit. I would do it in a heartbeat.
No, you wouldn't.
Once since I want to say early to mid 2015. The way that they communicated with me was to make that video, that hurtful video about me, in late 2015.
That hurtful video. It was so hurtful.
I haven't heard a peep from them since then. So if they actually ever wanted to say, hey, Phil, so, you know, that all that stuff that happened back then is water under the bridge. It's bad shit. Let's talk. I'd be open to it. I'm the public personality in this situation where they know that they can reach out to me. I have public ways to contact me.
And you'd probably just ignore him.
You know, I probably wouldn't even know.
Or maybe not. He'd probably be like, Rambo, please. I miss you so much. You broke my heart.
Like I've told you guys many times.
Rambo, please. You're the only person I ever loved.
Something like they did back then. What that means is that they didn't ever want to have any association with me ever again. They knew that I was going to have tons of negative repercussions for doing what they did, which I did. I got a lot of hate and a lot of messed up stuff happened to me because of it. And they didn't give a shit. They wanted to sever that connection definitively. Cut the
because you're a piece of shit.
I
don't have money to pay you guys. By the way, here's my brand new BMW.
Been like that for 4 years.
Yeah, he'd go right back to Rambo on his knees begging.
Continuing on, Sleepy says there was 3D gaming, then there was VR gaming. What do you think will be the next fad? What will be the next thing?
VR is the best. I don't care what anyone says. VR is amazing.
Not correct. The way it was actually, there was motion control gaming, right? Then there was 3D gaming. Then there was VR gaming. Okay? Now you say, what's the next gimmick?
There's 3D gaming, then motion. What the fuck are you talking about?
Your feet, and you put them into a basin of water. All right, and you splash around for swimming mechanics in swimming games, but also you can wiggle your toes to control the menus. It's water mechanics, water controls for your console, so you can water ski, you can swim.
Burning Hell Burnell, how's it going, Bipolar Bear? Holla holla for the $2 dollar.
I don't know. These gimmicks never made sense to me to begin with. Like they never.
Nintendo had that.
But not all the time.
Nintendo had a thing for the actual Nintendo. It was trash. Didn't work. But they had VR back then.
You know, and I owned them all. I owned the.
But it was trash. Like we got like modern VR that actually works now
I had
though.
all the gimmicks, and not one of them ever.
Begging.
Really
That's not what he's doing on his knees with Rambo.
I would say the PS Move was the closest to working, but didn't always work well all the time.
Yep. He put money over everything.
You notice
love, friends, family.
Notice that ever since I think PSVR, which was what at this point 3 years ago. Or was it 4? I don't even remember. But that was kind of like the last push for a gimmick. And since then, we haven't seen many at all, if any.
But it's not a gimmick. VR is amazing. I've never had someone try out my Vive and go, that was the stupidest thing you've ever done. No, everyone's like, holy shit, that's really cool. Yeah, but it costs a shit ton of money.
On something that's going to be used for a year and then dropped like a hot rock.
J. Kramer, how's it going?
You know,
I worked 8 hours, 6 to 2, and now they want me to go back 9 to 1. Like, oh, I don't want to do it, but OT's OT, so I got to do it.
I seriously just, I got to shake my head and be like, I can't believe that these game companies, they think this is going to be like their savior, their saving grace. We want to make a buck, so let's push everyone to do motion.
I've not played a different game that's a lot like No Man's Sky. We got to go around and collect stuff and all that. It was pretty cool.
When the PSVR and the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive and everything was being touted by the mainstream gaming media as this is the way it's going to change everything, it's the future of gaming, I said, bullshit. I've been here, I've done this 10 times already. I know this is not going to take off. It's going to be there for a year or two. You'll have a couple games that people
Virtual Boy, thank you, Arizona. That's what it was called for Nintendo.
Play. This will never be viable. Here we are in 2019. Every single store is fully stocked with VR units. None of them are selling. No one's buying VR. No one talks about VR. What a fucking surprise.
For the most part, A, people who wanted it already got it.
Now,
B, those who don't have it are like, yeah, I can't justify spending that kind of money on it.
The next thing need to have in order for it not to become a gaming fad, just like I said, it has to become something that becomes so intuitive and essential to a gaming experience and so additive to a gaming experience that you wouldn't want to experience a game without it. I'll give you an example. At one point, all the controllers just had old school directional pads. In fact, right over here on the floor.
On the floor where you keep all your controllers so you step on them.
Genesis controller. And the Sega Genesis controller is one of the oldest of the old school controllers. It has an 8-way directional pad and 3-face buttons, and that's it. And at one time, this was essential for gaming. It was the best controller you could get. Feels good in the hands. Wow, all these buttons and good control.
They got ones that you sit down, dude.
Then,
like
all
Thumper.
of a sudden, controllers started being released with thumbsticks. And as we started using these thumbsticks,
I'll say they got experiences for everyone with VR. I've had my 80-year-old grandmother check it out, my nephews, friends, other family, people from work.
And it feels better. It's smooth on the finger.
Like one guy's an artist. He does a lot of cool stuff. And I'm like, hey, come over, check out Google Tilt Brush. So he did. He made me a...
Then they started adding many more buttons.
TwerkBot.
Controller, right?
TwerkBot's his mascot that he draws on everything.
All these, you look at the PS4 pad. This thing's got multiple triggers on the top. You got a light sensor. You got a touchpad. All these things that essentially add to the gameplay experience, and now they become the standard, right? That's never happened with these gimmicks. The motion control, you could argue, maybe added a few things to games that otherwise wouldn't be very entertaining, but overall didn't really add enough to be viable in the long term. People didn't want to waggle their arms around at length because it's tiring. It hurts.
It's not tiring. It does not hurt your arms. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Functions. Now you don't have as accurate control as you can get with a traditional D-pad for a lengthy game, and essentially became a gimmick. Motion control, same thing. Like when you're standing up and you're doing your connect, right? And it doesn't work half the time. Who wants to put up with this shit? VR.
Let's see if I can't find my current background.
They never even made VR viable, in my opinion. The VR headsets are uncomfortable and unwieldy. They make
no, they're not.
Sweat.
No, they don't.
You don't know. You can't see in a space. You don't know how much space you need. The sensors aren't amazing. You end up, there's so many issues with these things.
No, there's not. I've played it for hours. I played
It's good for a few months of messing around.
Audio Shield and VR chat for hours.
Right.
Not once did I sweat. I wouldn't play it in the summer because I'm already gonna be sweating because it's fucking hot out because it's summer. But
you could argue the thumbstick was a gimmick. Nintendo 64 controller was the first control stick. Then Sony jumped on that bandwagon later because the original Sony PS1 controller did not have a thumbstick. It was just a D-pad and 4 buttons and shoulders. Then later, when Nintendo 64's controller was popular and successful, they added thumbsticks to their controller and it opened up a whole.
Doesn't want to shit on me that I can't find that picture.
Okay, so that's what you mean. You need to have something that's so different and adds so much to the overall gaming experience that everyone wants it for their games. Motion control,
and they did, and it was amazing.
VR didn't do it. Certainly, 3D gaming was a joke. That's what you need. So.
What do you mean 3D gaming is a joke?
Okay. Richard Perez actually asked 2 interesting
questions.
What the
fuck is he talking about?
His first question is, Phil, I'm a longtime viewer. Would you ever consider getting a Stream Deck? I know you have your little sound effect device, so maybe having it would be funny to add to the stream. Maybe even put some DSP classic phrases in there. Interestingly, you asked me this.
No.
I looked into.
It's annoying me that I can't find this picture. Damn it!
Don't know it's a device. It's like about this big, with buttons that you can program to do anything. I could hit it to switch between scenes in OBS. I could hit it to play.
I give up. I can't find it.
Play a video on stream, so I could have it here forever. And something funny happens, I hit it and it plays "You Blew It" from Adam Sandler or something. Right? I could set it up to do that. I think it's a good idea. The problem is, Stream Deck only works with Windows. I think it's like Windows, whatever the latest Windows is.
10.
It requires that. I looked into it. I was like, well, my computers don't run on the latest Windows. Now, the latest Windows is a free upgrade, but the latest Windows also is way more unstable than the current Windows I'm using. If you guys don't notice, almost never do I have technical problems. Maybe every once in a while my mic goes out and I restart everything and it fixes. But outside of that, you've noticed almost no crashes. Almost no issues. You want to know why? Because I'm running.
Maybe when Windows 10 first came out, but Windows 10 works fine for me.
So I don't usually have issues.
One thing that happens when it updates.
The newest version of Windows, I've heard it's way more unstable. You might have a kind of technical issues all the time and all of that.
No.
So imagine now. Oh, cool. I can use Stream Deck and I'm playing, sound effects, but every other day my stream crashes and fucks up. Is it worth it?
Not at all how that works.
I like how stable things are. So what I would say is this. If I were forced for some reason to get a new PC, or if I were forced,
guys, annoying me that I can't find this picture of TwerkBot.
Do something where I had to change my setup and had to upgrade Windows, then Stream Deck would become viable for me. But I am not going to mess with what works just for a gimmick.
Oh, hey, I know what I can do.
Able to play a few sound effects and things and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So there you go. Okay? All right. Now, the second half of his question. He says, what are your opinions and thoughts on Black Friday and Cyber Monday? I'm currently looking to buy a Nintendo Switch and an Xbox One for my kids. Do you think it's worth it to wait the holiday season to purchase them to maximize the deals? Wait till the holiday season to purchase them to maximize the deals. Physical brick-and-mortar stores
Best
are
way I
the
can do
most
this.
possible places to go for deals on Black Friday. They don't have good deals anymore.
Yes, they do.
At one point they did.
The fuck
They
are you talking
nightmare
about?
To get to. There's risk involved with assholes who just have no heed of the humans around them, and they just want to care about themselves and getting their own greedy hands and on deals. A lot of the stuff they sell those days isn't really even a deal. What they're doing is they're selling you a low-quality product for a cheap price that normally they don't even sell. When I used to work at Best Buy, they would ship in low-end computers to sell for like $150 on Black Friday. These are computers no one would want to buy normally. But because it's a $150 computer, idiots would run in to buy them. You know, Celeron processor, garbage computers.
Just like you, garbage.
This is how it still is to this day. It's not an opportunity to really get yourself a deal in real life. Now, online is the complete and polar opposite. They wait for Black Friday and they wait for Cyber Monday to put out really good deals. This gaming headset never goes on sale, but it was $50 off during Black Friday weekend, and I bought it 2 years ago for $50 off, okay? There is opportunity online to buy that stuff, all right? So what I would say is, yes, online purchases, buying stuff in real life during that time period, hell no. Not worth the risk and certainly not worth the time off away from your family and friends during those days when you should be spending with them to go shopping. It's fucking stupid, okay?
As he ignores his family and friends because he has none.
23 months of going bro. Thank you very much, Captain DCW, especially because it's a tier 2 sub. And Frenolith at 100 series, have you heard of Neurable, first telepathic gaming headset?
So he was born and drew this while at work one day.
No, I have not heard about that.
I took a picture of it. It's been in my background for a while. It's just, I love it. Easily amused.
And then we're going to open it up to stream chat for the end of the stream here. Dead Space asks, will you ever get a green screen and really take your channel to the next level? I literally think that's all that's missing. Well,
I can't use a green screen, dude. It's too difficult. No, it's not.
Having a little bit of transparency behind me on my streams is really what's holding me back. I mean, can you talk about one of the most frivolous things? Like, when you watch me on a game...
You already have one, though. It's sitting in your garage.
Hold on a second.
Oh, he's got to ban everyone now.
I guess that wasn't a good example because my camera is not shaped properly. But essentially, you see me with a border around the camera. That was a really stupid idea that I just did that. You see me with a border around a webcam, all right? You see a little bit behind me. I mean, what do you see? You see this right here. You see a little bit of wall. You see a little bit of chair, you know, and a little bit of my microphone, okay? If I were to do a green screen, first of all, you'd still see the sofa. I can't put a green screen hanging behind me on the sofa. All that would change is that you wouldn't see this little bit of wall, a little bit of foam behind me, okay?
And the door and the light switch.
Arguably, I guess I could get rid of my border for the webcam, so that would go away. And not that that's a huge deal.
Bill at the mobile gaming site.
What you're telling me is that getting
Bill at the internet company
wall and a little bit of foam behind me is going to revolutionize my streams for the mainstream, and people are going to come in droves to take me to the next level, and it's going to be blown away, right? I mean,
I love my green screen. My green screen is the best investment I've ever made for my channel.
That's going to change anything, okay? First of all, I'm ugly. No one wants to see my ugly mug any better high definition than you see me in my videos anyway. I'm not some...
This video can actually do like 720p, but he refuses to use 720p. It's got to be 480p.
Quality than I'm in right now. If anything, people ask me, please make it more fuzzy if you can. As fuzzy as possible, Phil, please. My eyes, you know. And in addition to that, you know, as I've said many times, it would be a huge chore to try to find a way to get a screen behind me, because this is the wall. The wall is right there. Now, if I put a green screen in front of the foam, number one, that negates the effects of the foam, and number two, that would make the green screen look stupid.
No, it wouldn't.
You'd echo more on my mic, and the green screen would not look flat, and you'd see all fucked up behind
it. Wouldn't. Are you... green screen helps deafen the noise more than that tiny little bit of foam does.
Here, and if I put a green screen here, it blocks the closet. Now I can't get into the closet to get my supplies. So
what
the truth of the matter
supplies?
is that number one, I don't think it would add anything to the streams whatsoever. No one's ever convinced me. No one's ever said, Phil, no, really. Here's what you could do with the green screen that would blow us away. Not a single person's ever done that. It's essentially the only argument I get is, well, a lot of other people do.
You get more gameplay in the video.
A lot of other people do it. That's great. Does that mean that I have to do what everyone else does?
Look at the phone, look at the phone, look at the phone.
I deleted a little bit of wall and a little bit of phone.
And the door. And the light switch.
Or the content of my stream. Does that revolutionize my content?
I don't get why he thinks it has to be a completely flat surface, though. That's weird.
It's something that people have been kind of like brainwashing to thinking.
Shit. Yep, I gotta go to work tonight. Damn it.
It's absolutely nothing. It's a gimmick. Okay? It wouldn't add anything to my streams. What am I gonna do behind me? Right?
I demand tree fitty.
So, truth of the matter is that no, I don't think that it would put me to the next level, and no, I have no plans on instituting a green screen.
Oh, hey, watch this.
Okay.
Oh, if you put it over the phone, it'll make the green screen look stupid.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, let's move my green screen.
We're gonna open
look at that. It's currently moving. You can't see it moving.
We've got a cheer from Retro Jim.
Let's put my hand there so it's like simulate.
That's the thing, though.
And you still can't see, like, I'm poking it at my head now, and you still can't see it, because that's how green screens work.
Okay, just my head transparent onto the game. That's what most streamers are doing these days. But most streamers are
it's gonna be all over time. All mana.
Nothing behind them. Hanging green screen
easily amused.
Behind their heads while they have a light blaring in front of them, and it looks good. I don't have that.
I actually got
in the corner of my
2 of these.
A million times why it's not viable to mix up the setup of this office due to the placement.
Spent like $15 a piece plus light bulbs
and everything. I'm kind of screwed where everything is. I can't.
So not even $40 altogether.
Plus, I'm fine with how things are. I have never received massive complaints about not having a green screen. Every once in a while,
everyone in chat, use a green screen. No.
I answer it, and then we move on, and then no one cares about it for another 6 months. So, #1 DSP fan just tipped me $7. You are the top tipper of today, #1 DSP fan. Thank you very much. Let's get you up on the leaderboard, and thank you for the support to those who did contribute during today's Ask the King. That is appreciated. $7. That gets us up to 34. Thank you for that. That Indie Glow just resubbed for 22 months in a row.
Trash.
Says, hey, Phil, what is your worst home warranty story? My AC went out on Monday. Now I have to wait for them to realize that it can't be fixed and needs to be replaced, which could literally take forever.
Ouch.
And it's hot as hell. A home warranty horror story. I haven't had many of them. I would say, okay, there's 2 things that happened to me.
Because I don't think I've ever had an issue with any of my home warranties.
The first was when I first moved into my condo in Connecticut. Within not even 2 months, within a month of living there, the toilet started to leak into the basement. Now, the basement is owned by the condo association and the owner of the building.
Yes, my 6-man production crew to do all the work for me.
I would be legally responsible for fixing, and I was told the toilet was essentially leaking on the seals right into there badly. Now, I just bought the fucking place. Why am I responsible that this should have been done when I bought it?
The audience says something. My audience doesn't care about that, as they say for it.
I don't even want to tell you. Basically, essentially what happened was I bought it from the husband of a coworker at work who I was friends with, and when I brought it up with the husband, he essentially then was so angry with me that I would bring it up with him. I didn't want anything from him. I wanted to talk to the contractor who had redone the place for when I bought it to try to get him to come fix it for free. Later on, I found out the contractor was his buddy. So what really happened was this guy did a half-assed job renovating.
Yeah, it could have been his air-powered toilet unclogger.
All right.
What was it? They actually had a thing called plumber and cane, where it's just compressed air. You put it in there and boom!
When I found out in reality it was his buddy.
It works when it doesn't blow out your pipes.
It actually got so bad. It was so bad that this guy.
So yeah, like the plumber and cane, like, oh, that's a really cool idea.
Stop being friends with her
until you use it and it blows out your pipes.
He even told me this was when I would just started making videos on YouTube.
I have not.
I remember my very first review where I had the little robot figurine from Red Faction Gorilla that I threw into my toilet. The guy apparently saw the video and said, I think your toilet's leaking because you threw a toy into your toilet. I was like, this guy's such an asshole at this point. I want nothing to do with him or anyone else related to this guy ever again. So I basically stopped dealing anything to do with them ever again. I was like, fuck
that can't be a
I'm not
Trorazio.
gonna deal with that shit. And I didn't. So essentially, that's what happened way back when.
Yeah, you got to be
Also,
careful with
first
those
event,
AMVs.
I had to pay for a plumber to come in.
Which makes no sense. How come I can type in AMV, watch hundreds of AMVs, but if I make one, copyright strike? Like, what the hell?
I basically got fucked by this guy skimping on money to try to renovate the place to sell it. Okay. The second time that I had an issue was when I moved in here. When I first moved in here, I had leaks in the roof, in the room over here, the office across the hall, and also in the bedroom where water was coming in and damaging my ceiling.
And did you ever fix it?
I immediately contacted my condo association and said, what's going on with this? Like, how did we not know about this? And they said, essentially, the previous owners never told anyone about it. And then, the day when they were
That's why you're supposed to do a homeowner's inspection.
Keys over to the realtor, told the realtor, oh, it just started today. There's no way. How were there stains on the ceiling if it just started today? They're full of shit. This thing had been...
This is complete total bullshit. When I had to get a house, guess what I had to do? Get a homeowner's inspection. I had to pay money out of my pocket, get the house inspected, and make sure it was sellable. Out of my pocket. So they probably told him you had to do it. He said, all right, I'll do it, and then he probably never did it.
Come out within a week, and he did temporary repairs on the rooftop, and then within a year, they replaced my whole roof. So the issue was fixed. That was one where I didn't have to pay for anything, thank goodness. But, you know, there's other things here that were screwed up, too. My garage still remains a big, disgusting mess. Where the
you see, well, he just said that,
and shit because the kids who lived here
what'd you call it?
Basically ran the garage like a chop shop. He had his friends bring their cars in. He would, like, chop them up and put shit
The homeowners association did it, I guess.
Hot rod kid, and he had all these stupid car stickers and racing decals and shit. He made the whole garage look terrible. They never did proper inspections on anything, including the water heater and the furnace downstairs were never tested, and the filter.
That's why you're supposed to pay to have a homeowner's inspection.
Done per the contract when I bought the place, but the things they didn't do were so trivial that it didn't matter. Like if I had sued them for it, I would have gotten
exactly silent weapon. That's exactly how he did it.
Lawsuit against them than actually getting the money I would have got out of it. So there was no point in doing it. I was like, whatever. So I paid for the guy to come and change my filter, you know, little things here or there. So pretty annoying.
Change the filter. You could have looked up a YouTube video on how to do that.
A terrible, awful situation where something went horribly wrong with the home and now I was stuck with a giant bill, or I was sticking, like you're saying, your situation, you can't even get an air conditioner, you know, for a certain amount of time. That's terrible.
This is so bad. Like, seriously, dude.
Spawn killer,
that's why you're that's like, I don't know if it's law or just the mortgage company not wanting you to buy a shit show, but you know, you're supposed to get a homeowner's inspection.
For a while, and when something sits in a garage, it doesn't necessarily stay too well. Over the years, the thing isn't like, it doesn't stand up well anymore. One of the legs is bent and messed
It's always
up.
weird like that, Razio.
The lights, I believe, still work. So if I ever needed better lights,
I played a game called Deep Space Waifu. Other people played it. I made sure that, make sure I'm going to get hit in trouble for it. Copyright, not copyright, community strike.
Anonymous dollar tippers, if you don't
like
the green screen,
8 months later.
Gameplay,
8 months after playing the game, community strike. Other people still have their videos up.
What?
Yeah, how can he not afford the homeowner's inspection? Like, you have to pay for that.
If you don't want the
you had to do that.
Why keep the camera on during gameplay? Okay, so this person's saying just turn the camera off if I don't use a green screen. I just don't see the value added for the quality of the stream since you have to keep adjusting it. What, the webcam? And it's a pain in the butt to mess with, probably. What? When do I mess with the webcam during gameplay?
When you move it around to make sure it's inside the border?
I guess what I'm assuming this person is saying is, if you notice, sometimes when I play games, oh no, behind me there's text, and I'm blocking it with my webcam, so now I have to move my webcam from one end of the screen to the other, right? I'm assuming that's what he's saying. It's not that big of a deal. I don't usually have to move it. Maybe for fighting games, and every once in a while there's a game where it blocks a little bit. Usually it's not an intrusive thing. Quite frankly, I'd still have to move it. Even with a green screen, if my head's blocking text, I still have to move it. You see what I mean? Like, I don't think it would add anything. I don't. And no one's convinced me otherwise. I said over the years, just convince me. Show me essentially how this is going to make things so much better. And people have photoshopped in hypotheticals, which is hilarious because one person photoshopped me in with no couch behind me. I'm like, that's not how it would be. The couch would be there. The green screen doesn't go behind.
You could sit on it.
It would go behind the couch. You'd still see the couch. So then people, you know, they try nothing. No, you can't. Not a single person has shown me a viable reason to use the green screen. Laughing Goat Cheers says, why don't you try the green screen for one stream, see how it goes? Worst case, you can take it back down. Because that green screen isn't for in here. That green screen is a ginormous green screen with a huge-ass stand that doesn't even fit against this wall. That's made for, like, a garage. Where I had it. When you're going to do a giant filming of you, like, your full body dancing in front of a green screen. That's what that thing was for.
Ta-da!
When I bought it, I didn't know that.
But no, let's see. Let's put it over the back of my chair.
It's not. So essentially,
hey, look at that! My chair is now gone.
I danced in front of it, and we had green screen.
So he could put it over the back of his love seat. Just like I could put this over the back of my chair.
I've been able to make use of it. Outside of that, it wouldn't even fit in here. I would have to get a different green screen to actually fit in here. Plus, it's broken. The stand's fucked up.
Exactly. You have to have mandatory home inspection.
What's your favorite part about being a streamer?
And for that, nail it to the wall. It's your house. You can nail it to the wall. You can command strip it to the wall. Staple it to the wall. You can attach it to the wall. He taped that foam is literally held on there by tape. You can do that with the green screen.
9-to-5 job in the office. I had social interaction with a few people in the office, and every once in a while I call a customer, but a lot of busy work with fucking crunching numbers and putting forms into a...
Yeah, for him, he doesn't need to stand. You can just, again, nail it to the fucking wall. It's your house. It's not like he's renting and he's got to worry about the... what's it called? Security deposit.
I never had that kind of encouragement or positive feedback with anything I've done.
Just nail the shit to the wall.
So those I'd say would be the positives. Are my favorite parts. Eternal Napalm Cheer. He says, 8 hours into Link's Awakening. What are your detailed thoughts? Where does it rank so far among other Zelda games you played? Actually, I think I'm 12 hours in, and I like it. I'm not going to give a verdict until I beat it. I would say right now it's pretty much on par with Link to the Past. So let's see. Let's continue on. Before I give any kind of a ranking or rating, let me keep going, but I really like the game. Jimbo tipped me $5. There's a few things that can be improved. You can get a modern webcam, but I know you're fucked sideways for money until you retire, so for those who are suggesting things that cost money, you're literally a troll who wants Phil to repeat himself. I don't like this webcam. I'll be honest with all of you, I never liked this webcam. When I actually bought this webcam, it said it could do 60 frames per second, and it was a blatant lie. It actually doesn't. What I found out is if you want this webcam to do 60 frames, you have to buy separate software.
No, you don't.
Like the base Windows drivers and software this webcam uses only does 30 frames. There's no way to get it to do 60. It's fucked up. I was like, wow, I bought this cam as a complete scam. Because it said 60.
Maybe you should have researched it first.
Using third-party things. I was like, oh, that's nice.
I got the 4K Brio on sale. Let's see what it goes for now.
Years. I started using this webcam when I was doing the picture-in-picture stuff for like the Kinect and the motion control stuff. Is when I started using the webcam to do that.
4K Brio. Let's see what's going for right now.
The webcam has worked out and given me a lot of quality.
Ooh, not on sale right now.
But I agree with you. I'm sure there's a million better webcams out there at this point. I'm sure.
Oh, they got one for $139.99. Let's say when I got it on sale, it was like $89.99. I wonder if I can look at my past orders.
Then yeah, I'd have to find a way to afford it, but I can't spend money on that.
No.
So thank you, Jimbo, for the $5 tip.
I think I bought it in. No, I probably bought it in 2017.
Camera is the cool part of the streams. If it was there, it'd be cool,
search all orders.
So I think it's
Brio.
Screen, right?
Hey, there it is.
Tulane cheered. Says, would you ever consider doing a proper retro stream where you make the?
Oh, but it won't tell me what I paid for it at the time.
No. And there's a couple reasons why. The first is, if I really wanted to go old school, back the old way I used to do it.
December 24, 2017.
That would suck. Can't live stream when that's my main source of income and what people come out for. And my old camera has issues now. Like,
goddamn, I bought that a long time ago.
And stuff are messed up. It doesn't even, the battery in it won't stay in. The hinge that, like, the spring that holds the battery in is messed up. So I have to, like, tape it to get it to work. Essentially, I could do it. It would be a lot of work to get.
But we know he want to do 4K. Let's just look up a good.
And, quite frankly, for the gimmick of doing like
1080p.
one game or one stream to do it, I don't think it's worth it to go outside of what I do with streaming. Now you're saying have the webcam film your TV. I could do that and it would look terrible. The webcam, first of all, this webcam is nowhere near as good as the camera I used to use when I.
You can make it 720p. You do 480p because you look like shit.
Like this big, no lie, like really big. I don't know why I'm doing two hands. That's very confusing. All right, let's do one hand. Very big, like this big was the size of the lens, so pretty huge. and the camera had all these on-the-fly adjustments for brightness and everything. Nothing that this webcam has. This webcam is a tiny
$30, $63.
So it would look awful.
There you go with the Logitech HD Pro Cam. Actually, that's one I had. That's the one I started off with, I think.
This microphone, not the audio from the webcam.
And it does 1080p, only 30 frames per second, but
so you're talking
you don't need 60 frames per second.
Insanely bad, blurry, shitty quality stream with a webcam just for the sake of saying, haha, it's like the old school way.
Or go with the C922X. That does 60 frames, 1080p.
Hold on a second. Oh, thank you, Insomnia Enemy, for clarifying.
And it's on sale right now for $85.
Retro Jim cheered again. He says, have you thought about wearing more video game hats themed around the game you were playing at the time? I don't have money for a ton of hats, all right? I don't have money. You know, the hats that I wear, this is a hat that I bought in, what was it, 2011?
No, that Rambo bought you.
Money to spend. The Sonic hat is one that came with Sonic Generations back in the day for free. Or was it Sonic Colors? It was either Sonic Generations or Sonic Colors because I pre-ordered it. I got it for free at GameStop.
Raziel, he can't drink tap water. It gives him heartburn.
I don't have a ton of hats. I don't have money for a ton of hats. And when I wear a hat, I can't use headphones. How exactly would this work? You know, with the Sonic hat, I have to crush the hat. Oh, this sounds great. Okay, then. Continuing on.
Wow, how do you wear a hat with headphones, dude? I just don't know how you wear a hat with headphones. It must be impossible to do. Dumbass.
How much did the
God, I can't wait for winter. Actually, this early fall probably be cool enough I can start wearing that again.
It wasn't like $100 or anything like that.
Or yeah, I can do the hat over the headphones. Let's see if I can get that with this one.
So I would say it's probably between $50 and $100, and then they had to ship it to
yeah, it kind of works.
So I would say, you know, right around there. But I couldn't 100% confirm. I certainly don't have the receipts from back then. Okay. Yui560 did 100-bit cheers. Street Fighter 2 HD Remix came out in 2008. Ultra Street Fighter 2 came out 2017. How did you remember how to play Street Fighter 2 over the 9-year gap, but forget how to play Street Fighter 5, which is the easiest Street Fighter game? Because I played Street Fighter 2 when it
gotta have that gin, dude. You gotta have that gin.
1992. I played it all throughout those years that it was in arcades through the early 2000s. Then I played every active console version of it through those years. And even though you could say, well, Phil really didn't touch Super Turbo for a while, it's never going to go away because it's been ingrained in my body after playing it year after year after year in tournament play. Street Fighter 5, I essentially played it a little bit for 2 months at launch, stopped playing it when I hated it.
But he plays Dark Souls a lot, but he can't remember any of the controls.
Then I stopped playing it again. Then I came back to it a couple years later, which I think was last year when people bought me the DLC package, and I tried a couple characters. Then I stopped playing it again, and then I played it a tiny bit on stream. What was it, 2 months ago, 1 month ago? You're talking a drop in a bucket. If you're talking the bucket that is my Street Fighter experience, Street Fighter 5 is a drop, and Super Turbo is like half the bucket. That's why. Be the Colonel just did 100-bit cheers. Did opinion on the U.S. Army having worried that the Joker movie will inspire crime? I think it's a ridiculous thing to be worried about. Sadly, Be you missed a whole segment where I talked about that earlier. I talked about that earlier on this very Ask the King. I'm not going to reiterate my answer. I would recommend when this goes live on YouTube, you rewind. It was part 2. Don't quote me on that. I think it was part 2 where I answered that question. Okay? Mark Murphy just did me $5. Said, would painting your wall and sound foam green be a workable solution to the green screen issue? No. Paint only lasts a certain amount of time until it fades. Paint would not solve the issue because the wall still has texture to it. This is not... This wall actually has bumps on it, so you would see the bumps.
No, you wouldn't.
This wouldn't work. There's shading. You're going to see shadows from the light.
Then paint it green and the wall green.
It wouldn't work. But thank you for the $5.
The f are you talking about? I am currently having like the thing over my chair and all that. He honestly does not know how... Oh, Lane Manual Band.
Do you think we'll ever see another good Street Fighter game? I have to have hope. I have to have hope. Because I love the franchise so much, and I grew up playing it, and it's that one...
No, his dad's probably too old to fly out there and paint the wall again. Remember, he's never painted a wall in that house. His dad did. His dad painted the walls.
But Street Fighter 5 ain't it, and I don't think it's happening anytime soon. Retro Jim Cheater said, what's your favorite Mario character? I don't have one, quite frankly. I really don't.
How do you not have a favorite Mario character?
Is my favorite character for, like, Mario Kart, and also for games like the Olympic games, because when I played Mario Kart back in the day, I was playing as Yoshi.
It's Yoshi.
All-around character, but I don't have a favorite character in the franchise itself. Favorite villain is definitely Bowser. Sambuca 2020 did 100-bit cheer. It says, if you got a regular job, what would you want to do? I honestly don't know. I would certainly like to work somewhere, maybe in the aeronautical industry.
Why do they always ask me, what's your favorite this, what's your favorite that?
I would like to do things.
You will never
work. The problem
get an answer from him.
10 years. I'm sure my certification in achieving competitive excellence, or ACE for short, is not good anymore. They probably say, oh, we added a million things over the last 10 years that aren't valid anymore. I can still do the stuff that I used to do. I can still map out an entire process and put metrics in place. I still remember how to do all that shit, and I loved doing it when I did it for about 2 years when I did it, but I don't think anyone's going to hire me to do that. You know what I mean? People are probably going to hire me at a line level position. No one's going to hire me to be at a position for that kind of stuff. So, you know, it is what it is.
Who hasn't worked in a decade.
Tipper says, in the past, you said it's on your viewers to make streams entertaining, whereas other streamers say that's their job. Why do you differ from them in that regard? I've literally never said that once. I said that my job on a stream is to put out an entertaining stream.
No, you have said that it's their job to entertain you.
If you feel that the game is too boring to hold your interest, if you have topics you want to talk
about
with me or whatever.
He has straight up said that is the viewer's job to entertain him.
Have something to talk about, especially if I'm playing a game. Like
hopefully someone has the clip of that.
A lot of shooting or whatever. I'm sorry, when I'm concentrating on surviving and shooting things, I can't immediately have 10 topics popping into my head to talk about with you. It's more about our organic interactivity. It's not about me bringing everything. It's not about you bringing everything. It's about us having a good time together. I firmly believe that. But overall, you're right. It's up to me to provide the venue, whether it's the game backdrop.
Oh, God. Come on. Please, somebody has that clip.
Or entertaining responses.
It was like earlier this week he said that.
I'm not going to come here like an orator.
Like earlier this week.
That we should discuss on stream today. I'll have a couple, or I'll talk about current events, but I'm not here to do that. That's something completely different than what the kind of content that I put out. But I resent the fact that you say that I said it's the viewer's job to make streams entertaining when I never said that.
Yes, you did.
In my mouth to make me look bad, and you're a jerk. Vote Democrat.
Lady Manual ban.
Do you think you deserve even 10% of the hate you get, or is it all bullshit? I will say this. I'm certainly not perfect. I made tons of mistakes over the years. I
think this might be it.
But I'm not going to put up with people constantly complaining they don't like a certain genre of game when the whole point of the stream is to be interactive and they're ignoring me and just complaining about the game. I've actively tried to change said behavior. That's ludicrous. So that's immature. A lot of the hate that I feel that I get it's stupid. Isn't about all right. So I'm not. I was going to lay down the law. All right. I'm not. I'm not going to put up with this shit. If people are going to just sit here and complain constantly that they don't like Borderlands 3. You're going to find a boot to your ass and you're going to be out the door. All right? I get it. You don't like it. Come back later. As you know, I'm a variety streamer, and I play a ridiculous amount of variety of games. Ridiculous amount of variety of games, right? I play every genre. So I don't want to hear that because you don't like a certain genre that you're sitting here and you're bored instead of actually talking to me and having fun and making it fun, just sitting here complaining about the game. Grow up.
Snort.
All right? Just being very upfront and honest. Now, it's not everyone. Obviously, it's not everyone who's doing this. But there have been a group of people who have been like this for the past, week or two that I've been playing this game, and I'm tired of it. I'm not going to put up with their bullshit. It really is. It's little kitty bullshit is what it is. Like, to me, no matter what I do to improve myself, there will always be this stigma and this mentality on the internet that I'm not a good streamer or I'm good.
You're a trash streamer. You don't do anything.
A hopeless scammer, an e-beggar, and racist, messed up person, and none of that is fucking true about current.
Yes, you are. You defended earlier in this very stream about your racism.
Screen that would satisfy all your requirements and dimensions and use if someone bought it at least once. What? Could you add the perfect green screen that would satisfy all your requirements and dimensions and use it if someone bought it at least once? Wait.
If someone bought you a green screen that was perfect for you, would you use it?
I would understand it. I think what they're asking is, if someone donates a green screen that will fit behind me, will I try it at least once to see how it looks? Is that what you were trying to say?
Yes.
Holy macaroni. If that was the case, I guess, let me say, if you're giving me everything I need to try it, I don't see what the harm is in giving it a shot. But I can tell you right now, I don't even know how I would get it behind the couch. This is a wall. I can't tape it over this. You would see it.
It's flat.
Like, I don't know. You gotta explain to me how the hell.
I did not. I had to be at work at 6 o'clock in the morning, be up at 4:30, so I went to bed early. Look, I am with my green screen right now. You can't see it because it's a green screen. That's how it works.
I didn't. what I do is I spin those into other things. So, for example, I did a best of worst of E3.
He's totally slow.
June, and when I did that, I also explained the gaming calendar for the rest of the year at that point. All right.
He has no idea how a green screen works. Lean in, manual ban. Lean in, manual ban.
So you guys know what's going on in the next few weeks to month. The thing is with the gaming franchise, the gaming landscape the way it is, things change all the time. You think a game's coming out and it's not. You don't have solid release dates for certain games, so you can't promise when you're going to play them and stuff. So I'd rather not commit to things that I can't live up to, okay? So essentially, doing a gaming calendar video every 3 months is a waste of time because by the time those things hit, maybe I can't afford all the games. Maybe a game has more information. Now I'm not too interested in it anymore.
Someone just chat. Oh, you do the green screen, so it looks like you're floating in a waterfall, dude. No, I can't do that. I can't do that.
About my updated schedule, so you know what to expect, right? Now I've already talked about this idea that people had. They said, why not? Once every quarter, do kind of a recap and preview.
Hey, look at that. I'm now floating in next to the waterfall. Yay.
On all the games or whatever,
it's not that hard.
And then you can preview
on a green screen. It's amazing.
Few months. That sounds like a good idea, and that's something that I may be interested in starting in either December or January. Okay? Retro Jim Charity said, would it be possible to pick a night to give to a charity as a sign of goodwill and doing well for...
No, because I need that money. Me.
Kind of feel you are today. Retro Jim... I've already explained this one a lot, too. Number one, I have a personal belief inside of me that charity is not...
Move the couch forward an inch.
That if you're going to give to an organization a donation...
It doesn't take that much room to do a green screen.
Do non-for-profit work. If you're going to go volunteer your time at a soup kitchen or, Habitat for Humanity, that's something to be done outside of anything public, and you shouldn't do it in any way, shape, or form so people know about it and that it's in the public eye. I feel that should be something that's hidden behind the scenes, and it's for you to do something good.
Because you've never donated to
a good guy
charity ever.
Public. In fact, that's flouting or taunting or touting supposedly something that's supposed to be giving of yourself. But if you benefit from it, then it's not. In reality, you benefited from it, so you didn't actually do a charitable work at all because it helped you. All those people that did the Ice Bucket Challenge years ago, oh, those are really nice guys. Immediately, you negated the charitable aspect of it because you got something out of it. At least that's my personal belief. You can disagree.
Because you're a bitch.
Okay, but that's why I don't do that kind of shit. Okay? If I did a straw, today's stream, I'm donating half the charity to this and that. Not doing that. Because then immediately that's, people are now giving contributions to help out Phil, but also to help out a charity. And it makes that's fucked up. If you like me for me, come watch me and support me. Don't come support me because I'm giving some money away to charity. That's stupid and messed up in my opinion, okay? Stimby Tippy, and that's right. You know what? Someone just, City Slicker said, OG Catholic Phil, even though I will admit I'm not a religious person, that's something that was kind of ingrained in me when I was young, and I still believe that.
Yeah, raising awareness, dude. Or, hey, how's it going?
Mix the two, okay, when it comes to charity, all right? Stimby tipped me $2 and said, NVIDIA developed new technology and software that removes your background without a green screen called RTX green screen, and it might be worth looking into, Phil, just for the fun of it. Thank you, Stimpy, for that suggestion. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now officially out of time. I need to end the stream so I can actually upload it and then go have dinner and everything. So I want to say thank you.
He took multiple breaks for a
live on stream,
3-hour stream. So he's actually streaming less than he normally would.
Reminder,
he is streaming less than he normally would.
In 2 months on Thanksgiving Day, and we already have the means. You can post up your questions on my forums. If you want a guaranteed question to be answered on that show, you should pledge to my Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil.
Trash.
Ask the King, in my opinion. Perfect.
Trash.
And I will see you in 2 months' time for Ask the King special Thanksgiving holiday edition. Peace out, everyone. I will see you then for episode 79. Later.
That was trash. That was just pure, unadulterated trash. Ooh. Here's a good picture of his setup. Let's see. EFB. Let's show that setup real quick. Right there. Let's see, let's get rid of this text. That is his current setup. Wow, that is trash. Like, why? Why would you set your stream up like that? Such trash. I'll say if you ever did charity, it'd be charity for him. He'd take all the money. Guys, I totally donated it. Well, show us the proof. I can't show you the proof, dude. There's personal information on there. I can't show you proof I donated all that money you gave me to charity, dude. Like, uh-huh. We all believe you, Darkside Phil. We all believe you. Let's see. Darkside Phil. His Patreon's currently at 94 patrons, $448 a month. Yep, be a part of the show. $20. People pay $20 for an spout bullshit. Such trash. This was live. And it just ended. And make sure you tell everyone, like, yeah, I gave him 20 bucks, follow the rules. And he still wouldn't answer it, dude. Bullshit. Bites and claws the shit out of him. So the stream started at 3:30. It is now 6:57. So he streamed for 3.5 hours. Good job there, DSP. Well, with that, guys. Oh, shit. I gotta be working at 9. Fuck. I already worked 8 hours today. I don't want to work another 4. But, oh well. I'll get over it eventually. Someday. You're not wrong, Raziel. You're not wrong. But with that, I'm going to make food, take a shower, go back to work. It was pretty trash. But I love that he streams less time during Ask the King. But dude, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. He took multiple breaks. Just sad, as always. Just like everything in his life. But yeah, I'm going to make food, maybe take a shower, get ready for another shift at work. Thankfully, this one's only 4 hours and 15 minutes. But still, I don't want to do it. But, OT! Make that money. I had to pay $200 for my hotel room for Yumacon, so might want the extra money, just saying. But, ooh, what's this chat doing? Yeah, his chat's still going. Sad face. Such trash. Much wow. But I got him a lot of free cash and then he fucked it all up. Let me know, Jorge. But like I said, I am getting out of here. I got stuff to do. So as always, like, subscribe, comment down below, and have a wonderful day.